So Notch, I got a joke. Have you heard the joke about Trump going to hell?
I have not.
Okay. Listeners, watchers, viewers, got a joke. So Trump ends up dying. He goes to hell. Okay. He goes down there and he goes up to the front desk and the devil's there. He goes, "Oh, no, no, no. What the hell are you doing here? We're over capacity." He's like, "There's no reason that you can be here." And Trump goes, "Well, if I'm already down here, you're going to have to deal with me. So where are you going to put me?" So he goes, "All right, I have 3 doors here. And I want you to go to these 3 doors and vote who's going to leave because I can only keep 3 here and I'm at capacity with you here and you're a big deal." So they go to the first door. First door, they open it up. It's Obama. He's in there
Jeez.
breaking boulders down like they do in Indiana Jones and shit. And Trump's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that. That's too hard work for me." They go, "Okay." Goes to number 2. They open up the door. It's President Bush shoveling coal and just going to town shoveling coal. He goes, "Oh, no, I talk about coal a lot. I don't want to be shoveling the shit. Let's go to door number 3." So the devil goes, takes him to door number 3, opens it up. It's this big ass bed with like red sheets and everything. And there laying is butt naked ass Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton has his hands like this and he's just enjoying himself. And there's a woman in front of him. And Trump goes, "This is the room I want to be in." He's enjoying himself. "I can do this for all eternity. I will switch places in this room." And the devil goes, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yep, I'm absolutely sure." And he goes, "All right, Monica, you can get up. You can leave." Sucking dick for eternity. Welcome to the show.
This is the best room.
I want to be here. It's the best room.
We've got the best rooms. Best rooms in hell. There's no one quite like it.
For all eternity, I can live here. I love this.
That's funny. That's a good one. Listeners, I don't know why TJ's telling that joke on the clock. As you can tell, we both work for NASA. We started working for NASA. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, we just started working for NASA. And
we
T's
didn't
over here
plan
trying to get
this.
us fired.
Sorry, it's the first day on the job. I just wanted to break the ice. Sorry, guys at NASA. Didn't mean to. We're in NASA fitted gear. We aren't sponsored by them, but we love NASA. Decided
Not
to
going
give
to
a
say,
change up.
if NASA wants to
If
sponsor
NASA
us,
wants to
I'm all
sponsor
for
you
it.
boys,
So.
because we love space, we love all things space. You know, we talk about it a lot here. So NASA, if you just want to, slide a little symbol, the symbol on the show, we will by all means,
But what's crazy is we did not plan this
No,
whatsoever at all. I was just like, what the fuck?
So we always prime before we go to the show, and Nacho's like, "T," points at the screen. I was like, "Huh? What happened?" And he goes, "I'm weird." I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "We're just in sync. We're in sync." Justin Timberlake. That's what it is. So, Notch. Well, listeners, welcome to another episode of the Jam and Nacho Show, which is 29. 29. And tomorrow's going to be the 29th of December. So we're getting closer to the end of the year, the new year.
End of the year, 30 episodes almost there. It's getting crazy.
It's going to be wild. So, yeah, we're going to have to record for New Year's or the 30th so we can release it on the 31st or record the 1st for the new year.
I was going to say, your birthday, T. What do you?
Yes.
Aren't you?
The 31st, yeah.
Listeners, his birthday is the 31st.
31st.
What's the plans? I know you guys are going to dinner, right?
We're going to get down to some seafood.
Some seafood from where?
Mm-hmm. Juicy Seafood in the Springs.
Juicy Seafood. I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, they're fire. It's kind of like a better version of Joe's Crab Shack, and they come in with these big tins, and you can have scallops, shrimp, lobster, crawfish, potatoes.
Where is this place?
It's okay. So if you go, it's on Garden of the Gods Road.
Okay.
Yep, it's
That's
right
probably
up there.
why.
Yep.
I don't spend that much time on that side.
Yep. So you can see it from the interstate, actually.
Okay.
So as you're
Hmm.
going down the interstate, whether you're going north or south, it's right there, and it's the only one in Springs.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yep, it's the only
That's
one.
crazy.
hmm It is fire. It was either that or 21 Steak, but 21 Steak, what they have on the menu, it's only four things this year, and you have to choose from those four things, and they don't sound good at all.
Rabbit or duck? We're all out of the steak and we're all out of the fish.
they there was something.
Donald Duck.
They had
He's a
something
duck.
on it. I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to eat that. And plus, they want a $250 deposit.
Jesus.
Yeah, on something I'm
Bro,
not going to eat.
just go to the Mona Lisa or like Springs Orleans or yeah,
Go
that's
somewhere.
crazy.
Yeah, so I was like,
No.
yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to be doing that, especially and spend something I'm not going to eat. This is not the show Succession. I'm not going to spend money on some stupid shit just to be like, I got the money, I could do it. No, I don't want to do that shit. That's stupid.
Well, while we're speaking of that, I'm going to drop into this real quick because I
Okay,
did see something and I wanted your
good.
opinion. The listeners, I want your opinion.
Okay,
So I'm going to pretend to be the gentleman that was speaking and I want your opinion because he asked for the audience's opinion on
okay.
TikTok, which first of all, I was like, why are you going to TikTok? But he goes, so me and my fiance, we spent 200,000 on our wedding. Now, 200,000, all we're asking from the family and friends, because we're inviting them to our wedding,
Mm-hmm.
is to drop 450 per ticket to enjoy this $200,000 wedding. Nobody signed up for his wedding.
Well, yeah.
And he's upset.
Who pays to go to a wedding?
Now, he said the fam, the friends, everybody will go unpaid to go see Beyonce. We'll go let Drake, or what was, not Drake, what's the other dude that dances up on girls?
Usher.
Usher.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you'll go spend thousands on tickets there, but you won't go to my wedding for $450 per person. I was like, bro, what the fuck? First
I
off, you
think
spend
he's trying to get
200,000
compensated.
means you fucked up and you're realizing I fucked up and I need the money. Then this guy, I don't know how, I mean, not to judge, because I know people are different now and like tattoos, but he had like the neck tattoos and the face tattoos, and he just didn't look like somebody, and his hair was all like scraggly. I was like, bro, you're dropping 200,000 on your wedding and you're like complaining looking like that, like a scrub. Like, at least clean up when you're talking to people. Maybe you might get like, I don't know. That was,
Notch.
in my opinion,
The higher the socks, the downer the full.
it was a, am I wrong, listeners? Because I know I wanted to. I don't know what is TikTok. I'm not on TikTok anyway.
I mean,
But
I can't even play devil's advocate with that because, like, okay,
right,
for
like that just doesn't make
instance, right,
sense.
it doesn't make sense. Like, why are you making people pay for your day?
Yeah,
Like, it's an inclusive kind of thing for the family. Like, I mean, even families have open bar for certain things, so
yeah.
it's like even your family and friends don't have to pay for the bar. Like, I don't know, I've never ever heard of someone making their guests pay to come to a wedding. They're saying like it's a party, but it's a I don't know. It's
And
like
it
when you
comes down
go,
to what we
yeah,
talked about before. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. Maybe we haven't, but that one lady that invited all her or no, her boyfriend invited all
the
her
dinner
friends
for
to
her
her
birthday.
dinner, and then she wanted him to pay for everybody. What is going on with this
I
world? Like,
don't understand it.
like
I don't understand it. Like people are expecting people to foot the bill for everyone and everything, and with them
yeah.
not contributing, and especially that woman that you just spoke of, she probably
Mm-hmm.
has done that multiple times to him, and he's probably kind of folded with certain things. But when it came to other guests,
16,
yeah,
it was like a
yeah,
$700 bill. I was just like,
like
fuck that.
like
Like,
how much do you think I make? Like Tyrese thing. You heard about the whole
yeah.
Tyrese thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, when I was together with her, we never spent X amount of money when we were together. Why is she asking for that now? Which is crazy. And it's like for him to say that and for him to have the receipts of what they actually lived and how they lived,
Yeah.
how are you entitled to that? How does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
crazy with celebrities, but crazy fact or crazy thing that I read about 50 Cent. Did you hear what happened to 50 Cent?
No.
So 50 Cent was giving his baby mama after, or his ex-wife after the divorce, $50,000 a month in
Okay.
child support.
Okay.
And she was complaining that that was way too much, or
Oh.
way too less, it was not enough.
I was gonna
It
say.
was not enough. So instead of him waiting for her to do anything, he proactively went out to the courts and he showed them like, hey, I'm giving him 50,000 a month. And this is what she's spending, blah blah blah, this and stuff like that. And the courts dropped it to like $7,500
Oh, that's what
because
she
that
gets.
bitch, because
That's what
that
she
chick,
gets.
sorry, not that bitch, but that girl was trying to get more out of him, but he was proactive, and the courts were like, well, "Come on." And I was like, "Good for you, 50."
And see, and that's the thing. Like, I've seen a lot of like divorce things when it comes to that, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like they like to throw around the word lifestyle. Well, they put me in this
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. Okay, so what does it's child? The key word is child.
Support. It's
Child
not you
support.
support.
It's
Yeah,
not you support. It's child
exactly.
support. What is a child going to do with $50,000?
And then they go
What are
around
they
and
going
they're
to do?
like, "Well, I'm sacrificing my life to take care of the kid." Well, most of the time in these court cases, the mother's like, I want the kid because they think they're going to get more out of it. Well, if you did it 50-50, then you would get an equal amount of time with the
Right.
kid,
Right.
but that means you're going to get less money.
Right.
So they just see it as a, yeah.
It's a come up, and then you see them all on trips, entertaining, doing
Mm-hmm.
this, doing that, and it's like you're doing that for you. That I know the child is going to reap benefits, but are they going to reap the benefits as you are? Because you hold the money,
Yeah.
and you need 50,000 a month. You're getting paid. That's what one person makes in a year. That's a person's salary. Like,
Yeah.
come on, let's be real here. Like, and I hate Basketball Wives. Sorry, I hate the show. They don't do anything, and they came up from these men that made millions of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
set them up in a cushy life, and they act like they built the empire, but they
Yep.
didn't. They didn't do it. Like, and then that's why a lot of them stay with the spouses after they got cheated because, like,
Yep.
why am I going to fuck up my bag? I guess I'm just going to allow him to cheat. We have an open marriage now. Like, I
Dude,
just
I think it's crazy how, and then if you look at Hollywood, so one of the things I saw a basketball, I forgot who
okay.
it was, but he was leaving in New York City and following him like a duck was Amber Rose. And I was like, bro, dude, are you guys like, is that like the only female that you see? Like, do you know how many people have, like, not that it is what it is, but you know who's touched that. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. You know who's been there, done
There's
that.
more
Like,
people in the world, and then they're like, the way she was like following him, I was just like, that's so weird. Like, I don't know.
that's weird. Yeah, see, Hollywood is always Hollywood, and just people are always trying to just make a bag off of nothing. That's why we
Yeah.
spoke about it, like, episodes ago about the women that were on the apps looking to see who's at the club so they can get dolled
Mm-hmm.
up and maybe make a paycheck. Like, this
It's, yeah.
world.
This
This
world is
world.
definitely crazy, and we're going to get into that. But T,
Yes.
before we did this, we haven't even did proper introductions. We just said
Yes.
episode 29, but you got to
Yes.
pay the bills. We got to go over some stuff. So let's get into that before we get into some crazy stuff because we haven't been on in a
In a
while. Like you
while.
said, it's already
Mm-hmm.
December 28th.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a
Yep.
lot to go over, listeners, to be ready.
All right, listeners. You already know what the deal is. Welcome to episode 29 of the Gem and Nacho Show, paying the bills. Those of you that are seeing our handsome faces on your screen on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, chit chat within the comments because we want to see more. And I'm loving that we're seeing a lot more comments in there. Let's go. And also, those of you that are listening to the soulful and beautiful vibratos of your boys. I don't know if I said that right, but on Apple, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasts that you love to listen to us on, please subscribe. And also We love to hear the reviews. 5 stars is recommended, but when you do, say it off the top of the head, say it off the chest. And if you've got something bad to say, unloosen the bra and then say it with your chest. Also, check out the Cool Hub that Nacho has curated for us for all your Cool Ones needs and music, different hubs from No More Lies. We haven't touched on that in a minute. Dream Lounge hasn't been touched on, but there's things in the works. And this new year, it's all about consistency. So head over to the Cool Attire shop to purchase all your Jam and Nacho and Cool Attire needs. There's 2 new items up there for you to flaunt. It's not these ones that your boys have on. Sorry, like
we work for NASA.
Yeah. This is exclusive NASA gear, so y'all just have to get the Jam and Nacho gear. But without further ado, Nacho, kick us off with it. There's been a lot of shit, and I don't know where you want to start at. Because I know you and I have big plans for 2025.
Man, that's if 2025 exists.
Yeah.
So we gotta talk into this. There's so much to go over, what we've missed and all this stuff. But T, have you looked up to the skies?
I've heard some chirps, man. Like the whole drone thing, the whole
The drones,
psychics.
the orbs.
Well, the psychics talking about in 2025, we're actually going to get personal contact with aliens. Now it's going to be the 4th kind of type, which is a little, and it's been by quite a few psychics have talked about it. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to see what not just thinking about when it comes to these, because it's a little scary.
I think it's pretty wild how. So if you look at all the hotspots for alien sightings, it's just been blown up over the Americas like crazy, especially on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think some of them, like on the videos, they're like, "What's this?" and then they zoom in and it's like this orb-looking thing.
Yeah.
That's just distortion. If you know your cameras, it's more than likely a helicopter or star.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of astrophotography recently, and I've learned that if you don't zoom correctly and then you take an exposed picture over a long time, they look like orbs, and it's absolutely annoying. So when I see it on there, and I'm like, well, that's just an overexposed photo.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, when at first I was like, all right, is this real? Like, is this crazy? Why isn't the government talking about this?
You know what's crazy, Notch? We talked about this earlier in the year when they had that whole press conference. Like, oh, the government's going to start dishing some shit out. Y'all niggas better get ready. And then he came on and he said, like, yeah, we seen something, but I can't tell you what we seen. And
Yeah.
Like, what was the point to come here in front of all these people? Like, I know you guys know what's going on. Like, and you like to just dip your toes in. Like, we know they're real. Like, we know it. We know, and you guys confirmed it. Whether they're this big or tall as Shaq, we know you guys know something. We know.
I just think it's crazy. So we remember I don't know if it was this year, at the beginning of the year, the whole thing that happened in Miami down at the mall. And people were saying they saw these portals and these things running after them and stuff like that. And then it just went quiet.
Well,
like,
and then the one
everybody that wanted to talk about it was shut up. They were
down.
told And then you got this new stuff that's happening with these orbs, and they look like drones, and then they shift, and then they have all kinds of different colors, and they look like RGB computer screens and stuff like that. And my biggest thing is when this was hot, which was probably like 3 weeks ago, at the end of 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was super, super hot, and the FBI partnered with the New Jersey police team or whatever. And they were like, the biggest thing that the FBI said is, we don't have the funds to monitor or deal with all this stuff.
The whole bag. Like, we ain't got the money. Well, how much are y'all getting paid over there?
That's where I'm confused. So
yeah,
not only do we stick our toes into wars that we absolutely have nothing to do with, quote unquote. Now I get it that rich get richer off of wars because that's just how it is. War isn't war because of most of the things. They just start it because they need to get rich and richer and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
The rich get richer and the poor die.
Yeah.
When the FBI says we don't have the funds, To me, that's just fucking confusing as shit. And that kind of scares me because one of the ladies that was doing the Q&A, she goes, well, if you guys don't have the funds, how are we protecting ourselves? Because I think it's ridiculous that a couple years ago you allowed multiple times Chinese hot air balloons or weather balloons to fly over America.
Absolutely.
And you literally didn't do anything, but you told America, don't shoot at it.
Mm-hmm. That's all you said.
And then you've got the police officers on the police side, which we all know how their funds go, and they don't know what to do. So they're like, do we shoot all this stuff at these drones and these orbs and stuff like that? Why doesn't the government just say, hey, these are beings or of the fourth kind or extraterrestrials or spirits or orbs and stuff like that? People won't react as bad as you think because they're not worried about that more than rather the FBI going, we don't have the funds. So where the fuck is our money going?
Where's the money going? Where is all
I
this
want to make sure
going?
That, well, now we get to say Trump has to prove to himself, why are my groceries and gas so high? Now, again, it's bad because we know that what happens in the past 4 years affect the president in the next 4 years. So Trump, if he gets everything down, was it really him or was it the president before?
Exactly.
Stuff like that. But at the same time, like Donald Trump, he's even said, like, they're hiding stuff. Well, motherfucker, you are them. They is them and you is them. Like, who the fuck are you trying to stop? Donald Trump has literally become that person that says, no, these motherfuckers hang out with the rich and do bad stuff. They are the government. They did this. And it's like, you hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. You have pictures with Diddy and hung out with Diddy and said you were good best friends with him. You were the government. Why is it like, I'm just...
You was
and
lying.
then people...
No, I am you. Him is me. I'm fucking everybody up. Him, he too damn big.
You? No.
No, me. That's what I said. But you're right, though.
Man.
And you know what kills me when they have that narrative where they're like, you talk to someone who's a Trump supporter and they, we probably have some Trump supporters that listen to us and are good friends, but hey, but it's true.
Do you?
When it comes to those Trump supporters, you're like, you mean to tell me he wasn't at Epstein's Island? He wasn't rubbing elbows? And then they're like, oh, no. He barely had an interaction with him. He did this and this and this. But then you start talking about Diddy. Like, I know that motherfucker did that shit. I do too. I know they both did. They're not innocent. Those two are not innocent from the crimes that were committed in their person. It just, you can't say one was impartial and the other one wasn't. No, they were. There are receipts for both of them. And even Diddy was a great friend to Trump. Like, you mean to tell me that they're
both
didn't have
from
any
New
kind
York
of,
City? Like, come on.
Come on. Let's be real here. We can't blame one and then let the other one slide when we know they're a part of the same group. You just can't. You just can't do that.
Besides that, and that's just being arrogant. Like, that's
Absolutely.
let's just be honest. That's
Absolutely.
arrogancy. Mm-hmm. That's just absolutely idiot. That's just a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But you as a government need to tell me why we don't have funds to figure out what's going on in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And then they don't even know, well, it might be ours, but then it could be another one's. I'm like, who the fuck is running your tracking systems? If you can't confirm anything, like, do y'all have something to do with it? Like on some Squid Game shit? Like, what are you guys doing? Do you guys have a hand in it that's making your own state and your own, country scared to dump more funds into you? Otherwise, we're just going to pull away and we're just going to fucking Red Dawn this shit. We're just going to take it in our own hands. Like, you know what I mean, Notch? Like,
no,
that's what it might come to.
At the same time, I think the government is so okay. So if you think of history, back in the day, when we're talking like Greek history and we're talking Egyptian history and we're talking the Mayans and all that stuff, the upper class was always controlling the lower class
Right.
by lies.
Right.
And a perfect example is the Mayan. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I lost track. The Mayan, the scientists during that time in Mayan time, because they did have scientists, worked with the rich to trick the poor with shadows to tell them they were gods using the sun,
Mm-hmm.
knowing the stars,
Mm-hmm.
using all that stuff to trick them to have them pay and to grow crops and all that stuff and to sacrifice and all that shit. It's always the higher ups will always control us. At
Mm-hmm.
what point do they go? At what point do we say that's enough? And at what
Yeah.
point do they go, hey, you know what? They're smart enough not to overreact. Like, if you're worried about your fucking money in stock, why is it the way we act or we react,
Make it go
affect
up, go down.
stocks?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Like, figure that shit out,
All the
first
time.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it just doesn't make sense
You
to
get
me.
in a panic, eggs go up to $18. Like, what? Wait, what happened here? Yeah. It's so backwards, and I've always said this when it came to Republican Party, more so Democrats, but politics. Politics works off of emotion
Mm-hmm.
and reaction. Instead of going to the drawing board to find a solution, Republicans and politics, they work on that emotional. If it has an emotional where someone is literally taking it from you, people are in mass hysteria.
Yeah.
But when you back up science and this, that, and the third, people want to turn their ears and la la la. I don't want to hear it. It's garbage. It's not hurting me. I'm just hearing science. That's all I'm hearing. But when it's an emotional factor, that's where people start to act up.
For being so evolved and intelligent that we claim ourselves, I feel like we're super non-evolved. Or we are evolved, but very stupid at the same time.
Yeah.
And crazy to think, like,
Very swayed.
the first, I forgot his name, but he was an astronomer. Maybe he was
You talking about Isaac Newton?
No, I forgot his name. But there was a guy way back in the day, and he was the first person to say, hey, the sun and the moon and the stars aren't celestial beings. They're objects in the sky, and they all rotate and play a part into the earth and gravity and all this stuff.
Right, right.
And the government hung him. they arrested him and they hung him for that shit.
Shut up,
and we all
motherfucker.
know, no, those are our gods. Like, and then you think
They don't
throughout
know.
history, you got the church, and then we go further because the church isn't. I feel like the church isn't as involved with the world anymore, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Because nobody's afraid anymore.
Yeah.
And I read. So I'll tell you something that I heard today as well, but we go into further, and now it's the government, and the government's like, well, we got to make our money, so we got to keep them stupid. Right. Well, we know everything. We constantly say this on this podcast.
Right.
Stop hiding the fucking truth.
Stop giving us the razzle-dazzle, man. Like, every day. Well, it's even witches. Remember how they blamed women as witches? I seen a post on Instagram, and it had this woman. She went up to like a little bar, and they were both women, and the woman goes, what would you like? She goes, oh, I have a pint of mead. She goes, that'll be 25 cents. She goes, but it says 50 there. And she goes, you can read? Witch! But it's like, what is going on? And it's shit like that people haven't seen years ago that claim the proverbial witch. But nowadays, everybody's doing shit that you're just like, we're desensitized to it.
But it's like the same shit over and over. And we know this. When you study history, they tell you history repeats itself. When it comes to wars, when it comes to finance, when it comes to governments, when it comes to religion and all that stuff. At what point do you go, bro, we know what the fuck is going to happen. We got to stop this. And it all starts with the government. And it's just, it's crazy that we allow the government to be the age that they are in control. And we allow them to make so much money, but they only work certain times. And then, like, it's mind-boggling.
And it's
you try to talk to somebody about that, and they're just like, well, blah 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 won't let this happen, and it's like, motherfucker, it's the same
It's
shit
gonna
over and
happen.
over.
Yep.
Like,
It's people
stop getting
being.
these same fucking people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, or they're old as shit, and
Yep.
put somebody that wants to change.
Like I said, when it comes to emotional aspect, what is this? Sounds familiar. Don't let your kids go to school. They're gonna cut their genitals off and they're gonna make them have a sex change. Emotional aspect.
Yeah.
They're gonna take all your guns. Emotional aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it just continues. They're gonna take your jobs. Emotional aspect. And it's
Yep.
just like when you feed on that, people go back into that gullible sense, like, oh, it's really gonna happen. Like it's gonna fucking happen. And that's why people did it. And they're like, I'm gonna make overtime tax free. Nigga, I'm working overtime all the time. And it can't happen that easy. Like, if I get your vote, I'm gonna make Michigan water good again. What happened? Like, you work on an emotional aspect for people, and they eat it up and they wait,
But what? And this
and
is
then
the
they
crazy part.
blame. Oh, thanks, Obama. It wasn't
But
his
then
fault.
But then what the fuck happened? Like, you guys just forget? And that's what we're going back to what we were just talking was the aliens over America.
Mm-hmm.
Did we all just forget?
Yeah, we've been so desensitized because we've seen so much. We all know they're here. We're just waiting to have contact with
Yeah.
them. And for these higher ups that are just like, oh yeah, we have it. Well, I can't deny or confirm, but it's like you guys have like eased in, like I said before earlier this year, but yet you won't do the whole truth. You're still trying to
Yeah.
get this. You're still trying to get reverse engineering from aliens and shit. You're still trying to do shit secretly so that way when there is an uprising from the people, you guys are prepared.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here like, fuck. I guess we should have contacted some aliens too. Let us get some reverse engineering at home so we could
Yeah.
fight the big guys. Because that's what they're trying to do. There's less of them and more of us. And we
So
just
going
haven't
back to
clicked.
so what my thoughts before we switch over real quick is
Mm-hmm.
what happened over in New Jersey, I truly believe was America hiding
Mm-hmm.
something, not aliens and not extraterrestrials or orbs. I truly believe there were American made drones by a third party company because
I
there
think
were
so.
rumors that something was lost, like
Mm-hmm.
nuclear waste, not a
Yep.
nuclear bomb,
Nope.
but they couldn't find it. And that was them searching for it, but they couldn't say. So they made that little, oh, it's aliens, but we don't know where
Mm-hmm.
our money is going to.
Yeah.
So that's why I personally believe because every other one that I've seen throughout the United States, main ones are like in California.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been to California and on that side, especially in San Diego and the ones that were shown in San Diego, those were just nighttime helo jumps and they were
Mm-hmm.
using flares on their shoes. It's
Yeah.
something that the military does all the time up here at Fort
Mm-hmm.
Carson. And
Yep.
if you're not used to it, it scared the shit out of you. But it's really cool if
It's
you know
yeah.
what it is and stuff
Right.
like that. And that's all
Right.
that's going on.
So
I
when
believe
you
there are aliens and orbs
yeah.
and pods and all that shit. I just think that was them trying to scare us, and that's why it's not a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they probably found what they were looking for. And
Mm-hmm.
if it was terrorists, they probably killed them in secret because you
Yep.
can't create that hysteria or scare people and be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, the government lost us. What are they doing?" So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So as we said that, because we talked a little bit before, do you think that life is a simulation? And
yeah,
there was a woman that I seen on Instagram, and she goes, "Let me my intrusive thoughts go." She goes, "What if Earth is a prison, and for us to go beside ourselves, we've been tapped in remotely, and in order for us to go into the real world outside of the simulation, what if we have to fulfill our karmic duty? Why do you think
mm-hmm.
people die when they get old and the good die young?
Yep.
Because the good maybe had found that karmic duty, and it took so long for an older person to have that karmic duty fulfilled." I was like, damn, that is deep as shit. Like, what if it is? Because Earth is ghetto.
It is.
Earth
So
is ghetto as fuck.
I actually heard something similar but different at the same time, which
Okay.
was we're in a simulation and we're basically living in a purgatory because we weren't
Okay.
good souls, and that's why Earth isn't really good, but it's not technically like, oh, nuclear war. I mean, we have nuclear wars.
We've had
We
it. Yeah.
created all this stuff, but we're in a simulation because we are well, like you said, we're tapped in and stuff like that, but we're on the
Hmm.
bad side. And it made me
Hmm.
think, and it's crazy because then I read something else, which was on the religious side that said, if you think about it, as of right now, when it comes to revelations and all these predictions
Hmm.
and stuff like that, prior to the second coming of Jesus, the 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 rich in heart will be poor in what in money, but the rich
Hmm.
in money will be poor in
Hmm.
heart.
Yeah.
And it really broke it down and it said, have you ever thought about you and all your friends that are really good and trying really hard and you're struggling, or you're not in the top tier, but then you look at these other folks that are what we talk about all the
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
and they're just making money left
Hmm.
and right.
Hmm.
And it's like, why aren't you in that same position? Well, they broke it down and they said it's because God right now is testing us in this position.
Okay.
At that point, at the same time, it broke it down and it said, there was another one that went after that and it said, well, why aren't you going after it? You can control yourself. At
Okay.
some point you got to
Free
release that,
will.
or you got to understand that you're not limited, and break free of those chains and go
Hmm.
after, kind of similar how they did,
Okay.
because at the end they may have done it bad, you could probably do it right or do it the way they did, but there's money out there.
Hmm.
There's money out there, and it's for
Hmm.
you to go get, or to become famous or rich, or whatever you want to do,
Hmm.
or be happy.
Yeah.
So there's two different versions of that too, which was go and do it so you could be like these influencers.
Hmm.
At the same time, the Bible side said the influencers are getting all this stuff because we're being tested. All the pure in
Okay.
heart, those ones like me and you,
Tempted.
we're always trying to do all this stuff, and
Hmm.
we see all these other ones and we're like, fuck these guys, like that's
Hmm.
ridiculous. They get
Yeah.
all this stuff. At
Yeah.
the end, like the judgment time,
Yeah.
if it is revelations or
Hmm.
judgment time or
Hmm.
whatever you
Yep.
believe, do you really think these influencers are going to be big in
Yep.
that? So
Yep. So that sounds like the scene from that movie God's Not Dead, where the guy that plays Superman, Dean Kane, Dean Smith, where he's rich as hell and he never sees his mom at the nursing home. But his sister, she isn't, and she always visits the mom. So
mm-hmm.
the one time he goes and visits her, he goes, "Look at you. You always gave a shirt off your back. You did this, this. You did everything great. And look at you now. You're dying. You're losing your mind. And look at me. I'm rich. I'm wealthy. I have this and this and this." And then the mom turns and says, I can't remember the quote, but she's like, the reason why you're flourishing is because in life you do bad amongst people, you're going to live in hell in eternity. Or she said something around that nature. And the
Mm-hmm.
crazy thing, after she said that, she goes, "Who are you?" And that was her oldest son. And it was just like, when I seen that scene, I was like, the movie's cheesy with a lot of
Yeah.
biblical standpoints, but that scene, I was like, whoa, that was profound. And it's like how you're talking, like,
Mm-hmm.
the rich have poor heart, the poor have a rich heart, and it's just and then it brings me to The Alchemist. I've read The Alchemist so many times, and it
Mm-hmm.
talks about the vase dealer and how he wants to go to Mecca once he makes enough money, and he can do this. Well, the little boy helped him, made a lot of money. He goes, "Well, I've always lived my life as to make enough money to go to Mecca. And I feel that if I go to Mecca, then what else am I going to live for?
Yeah.
Like, I've already fulfilled it." But it's like, damn. But then us as human, I think if we accomplish one thing, we could try to accomplish another. And
Yeah.
that's because we're not content. But for that gentleman to be content, but then still have discourse within him, like, shit, I have enough money to fulfill it, but I don't want to do it. Because, like, once I get there, then what the hell else am I going to do?
Yeah.
What else? What's going to be our Mecca? Like, are we going to
Yeah.
be happy when we make it, or will we want something more? And that's what the rich are doing. If you make $100 million, everything is the same. You can buy
Yeah.
anything you want. Like, you can buy anything you want. So they have $500 million yachts, and they just continue. And then because they're not happy, they're not content. So it's like, us with pure hearts, would we be in that mind frame? Or would we be like, you know what? Let's cure hunger.
Yeah, I think that's where I think it's influential. It's influence. your influence around you, your surroundings as well. Sorry if I could speak. If you really think about it, like me and you and stuff like that, like I've always thought, so there is too much money, and
Too much money.
if I came across a large amount of money, there are certain things that I would want to do, but there's more things that I would want to fulfill to help others, not only friends and family, but like the city that we live in. And like me personally, I want to open up a dog hotel where you could bring in shelter dogs and let them live on a land. Because I love farming, I love gardening and all that stuff. So I just want a big ass farm, grow my own crops, have my own animals, and let animals live on there like
Yeah.
dogs and stuff. And then if people want to adopt, they can. So I know what I would do. But at the same time, once you get that money, who's influencing you? They always tell you to get a financial advisor. And then a financial advisor would be like, oh, I want to introduce you to this person. They'll help you invest. Then you get into these people, and now you're in this group of people that have money, or they're showing you how to. It's like, at what point do you just go, shut the fuck up?
Let me do what I
It's
want
my
to do.
money. I don't need the. I don't need you to be in here to put your hands in there so you can take some of my money and then tell me how to spend it. That's the problem, and that's where that influence your surroundings affect you a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
Getting into that real quick. I was thinking about this, and I wanted to ask you as well. Think about all of Hollywood and movies.
Okay.
And you were saying God's Not Dead, which is kind of, it's a good movie, it's religious based, but it's kind of goofy stuff like
corny,
that. Right?
Yeah.
It's corny. Think of all your biggest hits, movies that pertain to God.
Okay.
What's the biggest one?
Jeez, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Even Loki.
Well, no, I'm talking about God, not like gods like Norse gods or anything like that. I'm talking about God like Christian, Catholic, Baptist God.
Passion of the Christ.
Okay, big movie, right?
Yeah,
that's more historical and stuff like that. Now let's go deep. Let's go into what I was thinking of. So, Passion of the Christ, number one, which was top tier and stuff like that, but a lot of people boycotted it and stuff like that. The second one that I was thinking of that was really big, that had big names, was Bruce Almighty, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
So Bruce Almighty, but at the same time, it was a comedy.
Yes.
And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, dang, what's another big movie? And then I was like, okay, Left Behind, the series of Left Behind.
Okay.
But it was considered a B movie.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood took the character, Kirk Cameron, and said, or the actor Kirk Cameron, and said, dude, like, you made these movies, like, you're no longer big in Hollywood. Then I reversed it, and I was like, all right, let's look at all the demon and devil movies and shows and stuff like that. You've got Supernatural. Well, Supernatural deals with that, but not really at the same time. But like Lucifer, and you got From Hell, and all of Johnny Depp movies and all these other movies. And I was like, dear God, like, when it comes to this side, Hollywood really likes this side. But this side, you've got the major one that was controversial, and Mel Gibson did it. And then you've got the next one, which was Bruce Almighty, which was a comedy. And then you've got Left Behind, which, if you're religion, you know, or religious, you know that movie, but you know that it flopped.
Yep. What about Michael? John Travolta.
That was the 90s, but that was more of a comedy. Think of it.
Yeah.
He was an angel that falls in love. Like,
right.
That was Hollywood trying to change it, similar to like Lucifer. Lucifer is that comedy. So I was trying to find more accurate that hit Hollywood and did all kinds, and the only one that I thought of was Passion of the Christ. The other one that I really thought of, because I love the movies, are Left Behind, and that's just because I grew up in the church and stuff like that. But it flopped, and then the very next day I watched Left Behind, and then the next day I watched From Hell, and I started thinking, I was like, damn, Johnny Depp is in nothing but like character movies, but if he does do any serious movies, it's about demons.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking of other ones, and I'm like, damn, Hollywood just loves their demons for some reason.
A lot of them.
That's weird.
What was another one? Of course, one of our favorites, Late Night with the Devil. Like, that got raving reviews. Like, it just goes to show. But it's funny that you say Left Behind, because they made 3 of them. Yeah,
it was supposed to be like a six-part series, but he was only able to make 3 because it's the Book of Revelation.
Right.
And then Kirk Cameron's version, which I absolutely love.
I thought
Then
it was great.
they made another one with Nicolas Cage, which I thought was cool
Mm-hmm.
because I love Nicolas
Mm-hmm.
Cage, but they just never get to finish it.
No, no.
It's a flop, and that's the part that scares me in this world these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Is we are more entertained with the super. Well, we love Supernatural,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to
yeah,
put it in that bucket.
yeah.
We're more entertained. It was by Hollywood, and I really, really think this is a reason behind it. There
Mm-hmm.
is a reason behind it. Is because if the devil exists or if there's some weird ass shit, Hollywood loves it and
They
they
love
put
it.
it in there. When we were watching that Late Night with the Devil, I told you,
Mm-hmm.
TJ, I was like, did you watch when they did the hypnotist thing where it
Yes.
was spinning and then
Mm-hmm.
he did this? I
Yep.
didn't watch it. I was like, fuck that shit because you don't know. I mean, it could just be
True.
some bullshit.
It could
At
be.
the same time, think about the episode of Supernatural when they were using that
Mm-hmm.
Latin
Yep.
on Hollywood
And it
stages and they were
fucking
talking.
happened.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking about that and I
Yep.
was like, bro, we have no idea what these fuckers are talking about
Mm-hmm.
when we watch
Yep.
this. Like, it's
Yep.
crazy.
And it's crazy you say supernatural. You remember that episode where it was that folklore of that crazy demon that lived in the house, but it kept changing because people kept putting Nokian symbols on the house, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
were typing on the internet, and every
Yep.
person that made a rumor, it made the rumor real. I was like, oh
Yep.
my god, like we don't know. We don't know if this shit is real or fake.
And
And
what you're combining and
mm-hmm,
what you're doing and stuff
mm-hmm,
like that. That's why, I
yep,
mean, I love when I used to go ghost hunting and stuff like that, but
yep,
I drew the line when people brought out the Ouija boards and
yeah,
shit like that. I
no,
was like, nah, fuck you,
mm-mm,
dude.
no.
Like, I don't know what
Mm-mm.
you're trying to do, who you're trying to
Yep.
contact, but
Yep.
it's not going to be with me.
Yep. I'm trying to think of a big demon movie in Hollywood. Um, oh, shoot. I'll come back to it because there's a
But I
lot.
mean, if you
Yeah.
think about a lot of everything it's just on there, there's so many more like Insidious. You've got the
Mm,
nun,
yep.
the priest.
Yep.
You've got Llorona.
Salem's Lot.
That
Pet
whole series,
Cemetery.
all that stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
just all evil, and
Yeah.
we feed into that. And I get it
Yeah.
because emotions. You rather be emotional and scared, and that fear
Mm-hmm.
creates excitement compared to talking
Being
about God.
enlightened. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
instead of being enlightened,
Yeah.
because you think about those all enlightening movies and if you watch them people are like, oh, this is stupid, or it's good once in a while to watch
Yeah.
it and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, but then you think about it and it's like, well, I love like From
Yeah.
Hell. I love that
It's
movie.
such a good movie.
At the same time I was just like, what the fuck, man?
It's
Like,
dark.
Hollywood is
It's
crazy
dark.
to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could go and infiltrate Hollywood somehow and just be like an onlooker. Have you ever? They always ask this question: if you ever to time travel and see some part of history and not interfere, where would you go? I kind of want that type of like TARDIS or DeLorean, but be able to just travel and see things without interfering and without them knowing. You know what I mean? Like, I need Harry Potter's cloak
Okay.
to hide so I could just watch fucking these idiots in Hollywood and go, they are
Just to
eating
confirm.
babies
Yes.
and drinking their blood and shit like that. Like, what the fuck are they doing walking around naked, just raping people and kids and stuff?
But do you
Like what
think
goes
that
through
would?
people's
But
minds?
do you
Like,
think that would make you so much more paranoid that you've seen it and then like to come back in your day and age like I went there, they fucking are doing it, like it's not a fucking theory, like wouldn't it make you go crazy, or would you have to be impartial like the doctor when it happened with
I think it
Vincent
would,
Van Gogh?
if you
You know?
yeah, if you got that opportunity, and we say this all the time.
Mm,
And I constantly do this where we'll look out in the middle of space and be like, hey, if there's time travelers, meet me here at this time. I'll
right.
turn off the camera.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go do the time travel. I won't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
want confirmation.
Yeah.
Before I
Yeah.
die, somebody
Right.
tell me they're aliens. Before I die, if there's
Mm-hmm.
spaceships or UFOs come down and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, who wants to go up in space?
Yeah.
It'll take
Yeah.
10 years off your life, but you could bring your friends or family, or if not, you got to say goodbye to them. I personally would take that opportunity to be able to see that.
It sounds like
At the
Quantum
same,
Leap.
yeah,
Quantum
like,
Leap was a fucking show. And I hate the way how it ended because it was so enlightening. Like, yes,
mhm.
it had the sci-fi aspect to it, but yet he was living these lives of people that he had to relive for him to go and leap to the next one. And I was reading
Yeah.
something the last episode. He was able to go back to his timeline, but it was like 5 years earlier before he leaped, and then they ended it.
Hmm.
And then Sliders was so good, but then it got stupid towards the end. Like
Think of
just
the most popular space movie. Well, in my opinion, one of my favorite. It's
Mhm.
probably my all-time favorite movie, which is Interstellar.
Inner fucking Stellar, such a good movie.
When he had to leave,
Yep.
and he knew what he was sacrificing, and then
Yep.
when they went to
Yep.
to Murphy's planet, I think it was Murphy's planet.
Mhm.
No, Murphy was the other. What was her name? What was his name? The planet where you could hear the ticks, and every tick is a
Oh
day
yes,
and a half
yes,
going
yes.
by.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was nuts
Yeah,
to think.
that
And
perspective.
that's where would you be able to put yourself in that position and be like, all right, I know I'm losing time, or I know I can't do anything, and I got to come back with that knowledge. Like the movie Paul with the alien with
Oh.
Simon Pegg and Nick
Yes.
Frost,
Mm-hmm.
when he goes, I want to show you everything, and like all at once, like that
Right.
movie, everything, and all,
Right.
all that stuff all at once. I'm going to show you this, but it's going to fuck you up. And then when he hits that person, and that girl, she's not blind anymore, and she's like, "Holy shit, balls, fuck!" Like freaking out. That's that type of information that I just want,
Mm-hmm.
because I know it's out
Mm-hmm.
there. I know the government knows shit. I know that the church knows stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just give us the opportunity instead of fucking letting us just dangle it in front of us.
Exactly. And just keep reaching. And it sucks, man.
You almost got it.
Yeah. I keep going. But it does suck in that perspective. Like, I think about that a lot, man. Just like so many things. Like, is the lottery rigged? You know, like, just because the government's doing it on purpose. Like we said about the time traveler and shit. Like, just
time traveler
things,
or
man.
Have you heard, or has anybody ever came out and said, yeah, I won $1.5 billion?
Maybe they just dip. I don't know. Maybe they kill them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's made me think. Somebody said that. They're like, I don't think the lottery is real because nobody's ever won. It's just a fun. People have won 10,000, a million
the
here
little
and
shit.
there every once in a while, but like the big ass ones, they're like the most recent one in California again. Like, come on, bro.
Why is California always winning? And what,
I get it because it's billion, and the government's going to get most of that because it's in California. He's going to get taxed.
He's probably going to get like 400 million. They're going to tax the fuck out of it. It's probably going to be 400 or 500.
I think they were saying it was like 636 that he was going to receive at the end.
But that's a gang of tax.
That's a lot of tax because it's California. California. Just makes you think. Listeners, tell us what you think. I know we went on a rant. We always go on rants and stuff like that. But aliens over America, are we in a simulation?
Yeah. Right.
Who knows?
So,
does Hollywood love demons in hell? Is there a reason?
Right? As to why they keep breeding, like everybody, I sold my soul to the devil. Which you hear that a lot in Hollywood.
Yep.
You hear that a lot. So what about a lighthearted thing?
I want to jump into this real quick because I got something for you. So last time I think you did it with me, but I want to do this new section, this new part to the podcast where I am going to give you a quote from a movie and see if you recognize it. So we'll do a little lighthearted before we get some more shit because we got to talk about all the crazy stuff. So where is this quote from? Movie edition. You ready? Listeners, we'll give you some time as well. These are movies that I think you've seen. I try to make it a little bit harder instead of just going with the usual, like, I'm a goofy goober type shit. And you know where that's from. So, So number one is, you were dead. I saw you die. Second person says, I was faking. I used my ninja focus to slow my heart rate down.
What movie is this one? Ninja Focus.
I know you've seen it.
Step Brothers.
It is Step Brothers.
Nice. All right. Yes, hell yeah.
Shut up, you wake the neighbors.
Can I touch it? How?
All right. The next one. We're on a journey to satisfy our munchies with the greatest sliders of all time. In an epic quest, my friend.
Sliders. Harold and Kumar.
That is Harold and Kumar. I was like, if TJ don't get that, I'm going to be pissed. And I was just going to be like stuff that we know and then we could bullshit and stuff like that. But then I was like, nah, I'm going to make these a little bit harder. All right. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Isn't that Alfred in Interstellar? Doesn't he say that? Even though that's not his name.
It's yeah,
Grandpa.
it is. Yeah.
Okay,
That's good. She got it. Nice. All right. Ready for this one?
Okay.
Seth, that's a better performance than you've given in your last 6 movies. Where the fuck was that in Green Hornet?
I don't know.
Fatalities.
Is someone like Ryan Reynolds?
No.
Oh, who says that? I don't know.
So I'll give it to you one more time. So
Okay.
Seth, that's a better performance than you've given in your last 6 movies. Where the fuck was that in Green Hornet? And he's like, fatalities.
This is the end. I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, T, you better get that shit.
Fatalities. fucking Jonah Hill.
I don't know if you're going to get this one, but this is the most
Okay.
popular, or this is a very popular movie. I think listeners should be able to get this. You mean you'll put down your rock and I'll put down my sword and we'll try to kill each other like civilized people?
Listeners probably screaming like, it's this.
Yeah. It's a very popular movie, but I think it's from, I'll give you a hint, it had Andre the Giant in it. So I think that's what, late 80s? Maybe? Yeah.
Giant.
It had a
I don't know. I don't know.
Listeners? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was The Princess Bride.
I've never seen The Princess Bride.
Oh, TJ, you don't say that out loud, dude. They'll come after you.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, listeners. I've never seen that movie.
Definitely need to check out that movie. It's a great movie. Okay, so the light concealing cream goes on first. Then you blend and blend and blend. Blending is the secret. I know you've seen this movie.
Is that the mom from Edward Scissorhands?
You got it.
We just watched that a couple weeks ago, too.
Dude, I was going to do the quote when he's like, Edward, how was your day? Oh, Mrs. Blah, blah, blah showed me the new room where we're going to do the hairstyles. And then she took off all her clothes.
She was such a pervert. A damn redhead. She's such a pervert.
I've been coming here every summer of my adult life. And every summer, there she is, oiling and lotioning, lotioning and oiling, smiling. I can't take it anymore.
Fucking Smalls.
No, it's not Smalls.
Not Smalls. Fuck, what's his name?
You got it. It's from,
yeah, but from Sandlot.
It's Squints.
Squints. Fuck.
Yes.
Fucking Logic. Squints.
All right. Fucking Logic, right? So this next one, I don't know if you're going to get this. I know Trey has seen this movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you've seen this movie. I remember watching it with him.
Okay.
Keep your money. You just get that... Keep your money. You just get that sucker to the designated place and at the designated time. And I will gladly designate his ass for dismemberment.
Ooh. Say that again?
Keep your money. You just get that sucker, which is a big word for this. You just get that sucker to the designated place at the designated time, and I will gladly designate his ass for dismemberment.
Show enough.
Bro, I can't believe you got that.
Come here,
Wow.
Leroy. I got some real for your ass in these hands.
Nice.
Okay,
Wow. I'm glad you got
okay,
that one.
okay.
All right. All right. Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're just trying to pull here, but Asia, Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head down there, and I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you.
Tom fucking Cruise. Or he was
From
in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
That's the movie. That's the
Dude,
fucking
I don't
movie.
know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play. I was like, oh my god, I gotta put that shit on there. This fucking dude. We don't make deals with terrorists.
So fuck you and fuck your own face.
That's where, yeah, that's where I was gonna put. It was right before that when he goes, "I literally need you to take a step back and fuck your own face." I was like, he'll get that if I put that in there. All right, last one.
Okay.
Listeners, tell us how many you got out of all these ones, but this is the last one. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. So much time and so little to do. Wait a minute, strike that, reverse it.
Say that again.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. So much time and so little to do. Wait a minute, strike that, reverse it. Oh, T, you got to get this one. I picked this movie specifically.
Is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
It is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This motherfucker got all of them.
Let's fucking go.
Except for Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, I haven't. No, sorry, sir.
Go after him. All you listeners out there.
That was a dope one, Notch. I like that. I like that. Quotes of movies. Okay.
Dude, I'm glad that you got shown up. I was like, you better get this fucking
That's
show
my
enough one.
fucking movie. Erica's like, this movie's so fucking cheesy. I was like, I love this movie, especially when he goes to the pizza joint and it's the redhead and she's all singing her stupid ass song. He goes, make sure when I get back, who plays this garbage? Shut up, bitch. And he kicks the fucking thing. That's my favorite scene ever. Oh, I have to see Laura Charles. I love that fucking movie.
That's a great movie.
Trey put me onto that one. Jeez, when we were freshmen.
Yeah, I remember he had a DVD player in his car.
Okay.
And he put that in there, and then he also played he loved all the kung fu movies. He's the one that got me into kung fu.
Okay.
I watched it when I was younger. I loved Jackie Chan, but like Bruce Lee and all them, I never watched them.
Yeah, Bruce Lee is.
I never watched them at all. And then he had me watch The Last Dragon, of course, and then Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, which is fucking amazing.
Okay.
I remember we watched in his car waiting for Call of Duty to release.
Oh shit.
I think it was Black Ops in Walmart's parking lot. We were watching fucking those movies.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, those movies are good.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, listeners, tell us how you did. That was a fun thing.
That was
I think
a good
I'll do
one.
more
I love
of those.
that.
So
I like that.
That was Where's a Quote from Movie Edition. I wanted to do TV edition, but I was like, oh, we'll start off with movies. TVs are pretty easy for us and stuff like that.
Okay.
But let's go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, our treasure hunt in 2025.
Bro, I
the
forgot all about
the John
that.
Collins Black.
Hold up, T. Hold up. No. Whoa. This is a private conversation, listeners. Fuck y'all. Literally, take a step back and fuck your own face.
Sorry, guys.
No, we can talk about it, but at the same time, we ain't gonna give you much.
Yeah,
but
less is more.
T, that book out there, and listeners, there is a book out there. I already forgot the name of it. I think it's called Treasure Island. You should probably check it out. Go check out Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
No, but on a real, what's the name of the book? I forgot what it's called.
Treasure Inside. There's treasure inside.
There's treasure inside. So listeners, if you haven't heard about this, and we hope you just think it as a joke, because if you find it and we find out that you're a listener,
fucking pissed.
yeah. There's a book out there. This gentleman who's a billionaire created
Something like
5
that.
boxes?
Yes.
5 boxes, and put them in 5 different territories throughout the United States.
Various treasures.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm starting to freak out, T, unless you got it, that one from the pawn shop that you said you saw. People are saying that this book keeps on getting pushed back. Now it's not in February, it's in March.
What? So, okay, there's an ebook, and I have the link. I'm going to send you the link of the ebook, because he said he's going to release the ebook because it keeps getting pushed back. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just put it on the iPad and just keep an ebook. If I can't have a physical one, I'll just keep
I'm just
digital.
hoping he doesn't. There wasn't more into the book, like UV lights and
I would hate
like
that.
heating the pages and stuff, because people are saying they're gonna copy the pages, like make copies, and then they're gonna take UV lights and like heat to it and stuff like that.
Like some like National Treasure
type stuff, yeah. And that's what I'm afraid of. Like a lot of it's gonna be like that. But some people are like, yeah, this one is just he's making his money off of this, and until I see somebody actually capture get a box, I don't believe it. But check it out, Treasure Inside. I mean, I was excited about it. It's really, really cool. Some of those prizes in there were nuts.
Yeah, there's even more. There's even more than what they have the list of.
I was telling Ronnie about it because he loves to be up in the mountains. I really think it's either in Wyoming or Colorado, and if it's in Colorado, it's near Telluride.
Okay.
That's just because rich people love that area.
Okay.
I'm super excited. If we can get our hands on that book, listeners, we'll probably do a whole fucking episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do episode.
We'll just put the camera on this. I'll bring my SLR. It records and does YouTube, all that stuff. We'll just point it at it and we'll go through it and shit and see what you guys think
sick.
And stuff like that.
So sick.
But check it out. It's pretty cool. But like I said, if you find it, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. So yeah,
go find the one in the Appalachian side.
Right. So,
already enough of us here in Colorado looking for it.
Yeah, so that was a little snip of what Nacho and I got going on in 2025. So we
definitely
just find some time.
Dude, the podcast and go hitting up some treasure and stuff like that. T, what have you going into this? I know we've been checking on each other and stuff. How's your mental state and what have you been doing?
You know, it's been good, man. Like just work has just been, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I'm very grateful I do have a job. I'm very grateful, but I just need to be stimulated more. Like coming here on the podcast with Notch is probably the best thing. Like just to break up that monotony in life. Because I'm like, man, I get to talk about other shit and, you know, use my brain and use a creative sense on when it comes to editing or when it comes to, you know, like making guess who's or who am I's and stuff like that. And I actually have a new who am I segment too, but that's for you know, or later in the episode. But other than that, like things are good, man. Just trying to get in that mode of just lifting more, you know, trying to get some cardio going, like just to make it where I'm not hitting it too hard to where I'm going to fall off and hate it, because I'm one of those ones that I'll start and I'll go and then I'm just like, this shit's boring. Like I've been really bored with my workouts and it's just, I'll just go into the gym and it's like, damn, I've already done this. Like, so I'm like trying to incorporate new workouts just to keep my mind, you know, going and my body in tight. So I'm like, I'm trying to lose like 20, 25 pounds.
Nice.
And then kind of, you know, go from there, man. So that's the goal. So it's going to be slowly but surely, but more gym. What about you, Notch? What about you?
Dude,
I know you got some things going.
Multiple things that I wanted to talk about, especially for us and all the listeners that have been going through anxiety and stress like that. So my last resort was, a lot of people are like, oh, you just need to smoke CBD. You need to do microdosing shrooms and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? That's last resort. I want to feel like my old self and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've been doing a lot more for myself. Like 2025, I really want to start heavily working out more, just like you. I've been working out a lot more recently. Because come summertime, I really wanted to focus on getting back into playing basketball. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, I'm down
Nice.
here. I'm probably
Nice.
down here for another year. I'm going to get TJ back into it. We're going to start playing ball, getting my brothers into it and stuff like that. Because everybody works out. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we still need that cardio and have fun with it.
Yes.
Like you were saying,
Yes.
repetitive gym can be boring
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But if
Mm-hmm.
we could go play basketball and do stupid shit like that, we
Yep.
might hurt ourselves, but oh well.
The slabs. The
At
slabs will be
the
open. The
Yeah,
new
we'll see.
slabs.
I don't know if I can hang out with those. I was thinking more like going to what is that, Minnequa area and just like
Okay.
run and
I'll just
stuff
go.
and tell somebody we hear gunshots and we're like, that's a Colt
Run!
45, run. Um, but one of the things that I wanted, so I was like, you know what? I'm done taking prescription pills.
Okay.
Like how you were talking
Okay.
brain fog and you
Okay.
had those brain
Brain
um,
zaps.
brain zaps. I cut myself off of my pills that I
Okay.
was taking when I had panic attacks because I wanted to try something else.
Okay.
And I felt like I had those that you were saying, where I felt dizzy, I felt like all that stuff. But now that my body's been flushed of it, I feel better to where I
Okay.
don't need to take it.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, when I feel like I'm having an anxiety or a panic attack, I've realized it's because I'm not getting enough sleep or I'm overstimulated from stress or stuff like that. So I decided to go and look up microdosing.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk to you about this, and I want to talk
Okay.
to everybody about this.
Okay.
I didn't want to take pills. I didn't want to take caps and stems. The only mushrooms I want to take are the edible ones that are good for you, healthy ones.
Okay.
But then I was like, you know what? I do want to try a microdose, but I don't want to take the pills.
Right.
So I found this guy right here.
Oh,
I don't know if
shoot.
you could see that.
It's like a Mio.
It is. It's called mycoline. Mycoline. And this guy is a little squeezable water enhancer.
Okay.
It has 0 calories, 0 sugar. It's blue raspberry, and every squeeze is a microdose.
Wow.
I've been doing 4 days on, 3 days off. I'm on my 4th day right now, and I'm about to do 3 days off to rewire my brain and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, TJ, this shit has made everything better to where I'm not overthinking. I'm more relaxed.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, maybe it's just my mind. Maybe it's a placebo effect, right?
Okay.
So my brother, who does shroom, he takes actual shrooms. He's like, I want to try it. And I was like, all right. So I gave him a big squeeze.
Okay.
He went to his room and he's like, bro, that hit me so fast. And my curtains started moving. So I knew it was affecting me because I started yawning a lot. So I put on some crazy colored things and some music. And he's like, that was a really good trip that I had.
Wow.
So this shit works.
Okay.
Now, on my side, it's not I don't see anything moving or anything like that. I have it in my 40-ounce water, and I just do one squeeze in it. Like I'm drinking it right now.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Just like clarity, good, like just.
I feel good.
Okay.
The colors, it's not, I don't want to, the first day I took it, I may have taken a little bit more because colors were more bright. And I was like, oh shit. That's like, hold up. But I calmed myself down and I was like, all right, you're not going to trip. You're not going to do this stuff. And I shortened my little squeeze in the water and stuff like that. It just makes me feel good, man.
Okay.
It makes me feel good. I really want you to try it. I'll probably bring it over so you could try it.
Okay.
It's only $34 too for this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and that's crazy stuff like that. Like the CBD is good. Like I've had that, and it just does so much better for me. Like I haven't had real crazy panic attacks, but like when it'll come on, it's like you said, stress or something that's going through my mind, and I just kind of just chill. I zone out. I focus on something else, and I keep it moving. So I actually got a new provider as well. So my provider said she was looking at the vitamins and stuff that I take. She goes, "Why are you taking this shit?" I was like, "Well, they're multivitamins." She's like, "Are you deficient in X, Y, and Z?" I was like, "No, not that I know of." She's like, "I'm looking at all your levels here. You're not deficient in anything. So there's no reason for you to keep spending money on things."
I'm not deficient because I'm taking them.
Exactly. But she's like,
it's catch-22.
She's like, "You're young. The things that are in here," she's like, "there's no scientific data that actually confirms that this is here." She's like, "But if you absolutely need something that I'm prescribing you, I'm going to advise you to take them. But the stuff you're taking here, you don't need this shit." She's like, "Save your money. Don't even put this shit in your body unless we know." She was like, "So that's why I'm going to come back and see her in a couple more weeks to do more labs to see, as I've been not taking these vitamins for about maybe 2 weeks now, and seeing how things are and seeing where I'm going to be for my, my journey in 2025. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
glad I have a provider like this, because she even said too, she goes, I'm the type of provider, I'm not going to wait till you have a stroke and then we got to be proactive. She's like, no, we're going to stop that shit now so you don't have a stroke. And then we're like twiddling our thumbs. She's like, I'm not with that shit. I want to know what you're taking, diet wise, what you're doing for exercise wise. And we're going to draw a map plan and go from there. I was like, I like this. This is
That's
the
dope.
type of provider that everyone needs. Someone that's paying attention to you and not just seeing you as another number and having your copay to go to nothing just for them not to get in contact with you. But before
Or they just go, here,
take
stuff
this and
yourself
call
with
me in the
this.
morning.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yep.
instead mine's like, what the fuck do you, and she cusses and she's just real down to earth and just mental focus. I even asked on TRT and the testosterone level. She goes, why are you thinking about that? She's like, is this
Because
okay?
we read it. Yeah.
Is this okay? I was like, yeah. She's like, all right, I'm going to get personal. How's the bedroom? I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
good. So she's like, well, we'll test it and we'll just go from there. She was like, we'll see what it is. But, yeah, she was like, even show me calories. What are you eating caloric intake? So I can see and adjust in there. I'm like, Jesus, like, I don't need a
That's cool.
dietitian, nutrition. Like, she's dope. So
And
I'm
sometimes
excited for
we
that.
need that person to. It's funny that you said that, because the last time I went to the doctor, I was like, check this, check that, and stuff.
Okay.
And he literally stopped me and he goes, Derek, you don't have a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's all up here. And I was just like, are you sure?
Yeah.
My mom had thyroid problems. She was diabetic. She died of cancer. Like,
Yeah.
can you check? And he's like, stop. He's like, you need to understand that you're healthy. A lot of it's literally just
It's
up here.
mental.
And that's why I like this, because it cleared my mind from overthinking. Instead of going, okay, I'm alone, now I'm going to overthink things.
Right.
I'm just doing stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like I told you, and when we started and stuff, I've been really, really heavy in astrophotography, which I love photography, but now I'm focusing more on the stars and shit, and that's
Yeah.
just mind blowing. One of these
Right.
days, I was actually going to go out to your house because it's probably darker one of these
It's
days to take
darker.
photos, and
It is darker.
I'm pretty sure like Avery would love to see all that stuff. To see like when you look up at the sky and then your camera captures shit that you don't see, like it's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
That's
dude.
sick.
I've got
That's sick.
pictures of the Orion Nebula
Oh,
that you can't
shit.
even see with your eyes, like.
Wow.
And I was just like, holy shit, like, why didn't I get into this? So, like, that stuff has definitely helped. And then you saying that and everything, sometimes we just need to step back and be like, do I really need to take? And that's that anxiety medicine. It was chemically made. I'd rather go natural. At the same time, when I stopped taking it, I went through that, like, bad fog. Like, I was getting headaches.
Yep.
I felt dizzy and stuff
Yep.
like that. But I just cold cut myself, like cold turkey. And then I took this, and I'm going to go 4 days on, 3 days off, and it's natural.
Yep.
Like, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, at least it was natural. I'm just putting natural shit in my body.
And another thing that the provider said too, she was like, also everything is here, and also here in the gut. He's like, she was like, if your gut's fucked up, it's gonna trigger different things in your brain, and you're gonna. I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, with all the shit that we've been exposed to, like, we were good in the 90s and 80s, but when it came to like us getting older with processed stuff, it messed up a lot of things.
But that goes into the next. Now that we could jump into what I wanted to talk about real quick. Tell me why in America we are almost the only country that allows artificial ingredients in our food.
Just to make more money.
To make more money, right? Well, it's cheaper to make.
Yep.
Natural is more expensive, and then it puts you in the hospital.
Yep.
And guess what? Those big farm companies that own the hospital, Johnson and Johnson, also make your food,
Pfizer,
and make all that shit.
Yep.
Absolutely ridiculous. So for Christmas, my sister got everybody this like candy cane of like Skittles. And I just gave it away. I was like, Ashley, I'm sorry.
I don't need this shit.
I've literally cut out anything that's artificial coloring.
Okay.
Anything that's colored.
Okay.
Sodas, all that stuff. It's hard, but at the same time, it really somebody came up to me and they were like, did you hear about this red bug that when you smash it, it makes the powder and it's in certain foods? And I was like, okay, but that's a bug and that's a natural dye.
Okay.
I was like, what is red 40? So then I looked up red 40 and yellow 5 and blue whatever, like blue or all that stuff. All that shit's made out of petroleum.
Oh. Huh.
The same shit that you pump in your car is the same stuff that's on macaroni. Well, no, macaroni and cheese is natural now. That's they switched it. But in your Kool-Aids, your sodas, your candies, all that stuff, if it's not made by that little bug and you're afraid of eating artificial or natural coloring from a bug, you're eating petroleum.
That's a lot of carcinogens.
No wonder why people in America have cancer.
Have so much cancer. Yep. So as you said that too, I was watching a video. It disgusted me because of the creatures that they have. They had cockroach farms. And, oh, Jesus, they scared the fuck out of me. And the guy was doing this like it was a beehive, like how you would, harvest honey. And it was cockroaches. And these cockroach farms, they're used heavily in Chinese medicine. And they're used for, like, ulcers, like all kinds of stuff, all kinds of medicines. And then, of course, they use them as animal feed for livestock, too. I was like, but the video... about shit myself because there was so many fucking cockroaches everywhere. They were crawling on his face and his neck, and he was just working.
I can't do I could do any other insect but cockroaches. But yeah, it comes down to it. It's really America is very, how they say, we're more industrialized, we're more modernized than a lot of more countries. But at the same time, are we? Like, I follow this guy that plays GTA on YouTube, and he has a channel. He's a role playing GTA person. I think he's from England. Okay. A lot of European stuff. And he was super excited because one of his followers from America sent him over an orange Fanta. And he was like, I haven't had an American Fanta in forever. I absolutely love it. And he took one sip and he's like, dear God, this is so good, but I know it's so bad for you. And then he showed both. He flipped over the one over there and the one from America. And over there, it's literally orange juice, carbonated water, some added natural sugar, and that's it. On our side, it was like 50 different ingredients. And he's like, this is so bad for you. I know it's going to cause cancer, and America's stupid for eating this, but I love it. It's so addictive. And that, in my mind, I was just like, gosh, damn, even all these other countries are just like, they know. America's stupid. They're dum-dums. Like, you don't need it. My stepdad, he's really into staying healthy as well. And he's always sending me like these tinctures that have like sea moss in it and turmeric and black licorice and stuff like that. And he's like, we should start taking this and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what's the funny part? And he even brought this up. He's like, I was taking this medicine and then I looked it up and I realized this is what this medicine mimics from nature. They got the chemical compound, created it in to where it's artificial, and then you take it in a pill form. But if you go back to the days where they didn't have that, this is where it came from. One of the biggest things for antibiotics is oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is one of the hardest things that you could probably take because it's so spicy and it's so strong. But if you ever have a problem and you have something internal and you want to just burn it out of your body, oil of oregano is an antibiotic.
Okay. And just a natural antibiotic.
Just a natural antibiotic. Turmeric and black pepper is probably the best thing you can put in your body.
Jeez. Yeah.
But they're rather you. Yep.
I prescribed that to my dad. I was like, just start taking turmeric pills. His A1C
I take that every day.
Yep. His A1C went down. I was like, good shit.
Yeah. I have a big jug of orange juice. It has orange juice, lemon, turmeric, black pepper, cayenne, honey, and ginger. And I take a shot of it every day.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I've been sick this whole year.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock on wood.
No, no, knock on wood.
Because
No.
everybody around me's been sick. My brother was sick. Annie was sick.
Ah,
My sister's been
shit.
sick. All that stuff during Christmas. They all came over and they were all sick, or most of them were sick. And I was just like, nope. I'm gonna take this, sip this. I'm gonna be good.
Yep.
And I've been good. The shit that you get from nature is crazy.
Yep. It helps, man. It fucking
America,
helps.
we've got a problem with our artificial shit. It is crazy how
Absolutely,
much
we do.
artificial. And if you're eating a lot of candy and stuff, think about where that color's coming from.
Yeah,
Because if you
exactly.
get scared of a little red bug, but you know you're eating a red M&M, just know that's the same shit that you put in your car to start it.
Yeah. And the bug's going to be easier on your stomach
Yeah, it's
and
just
your overall
a
health.
dried up bug. You wouldn't even know if
Yeah.
you didn't even look it up. But look at there's a red bug, or you could eat red 40. I think it's red 8 or red 40.
Okay. It's probably red 40.
Red 40 is the artificial. Red 8 is the bug.
So I think I'm going to check out a cockroach farm and see if I can get some cockroach tea.
Nope. You could count me out of that. Nope. I won't. I'll do everything and anything but cockroaches.
But the cockroach.
But cockroaches. Just can't do it. I have a phobia of it.
Ugh. I can't do
I'll
it.
do everything and anything but cockroaches.
Dirty motherfuckers. what's
And you know,
the next?
they're the fucking cleanest. They're super clean.
They are so clean.
Did you know that if you touch a cockroach, they'll go and hide, and then they'll clean themselves?
Yep, they clean
because they
themselves.
think humans are dirty.
Yeah, that we think they're dirty too.
They're just, to me, they're just ugly looking, man. Ugly little fuckers.
And they just run. Humans are dirty motherfuckers.
That 90s movie with the cockroaches? Somebody's apartment?
Joe's apartment. That was a fucking crazy ass movie.
Or the fucking cockroach bugs from Men in Black?
Fucking big ass ones. Yeah, I can't. Nope, can't do it.
Don't be starting nothing. Won't be
nothing. Yeah, Will Smith fucking up cockroach families. What else do we got, Notch?
So I know we were talking about Donald Trump and Diddy and stuff like that, but how do you feel about LeBron James just taking a quick break from the NBA because he was getting heckled about his LeBron James has the best parties and all that stuff? Where do you think he sits in that, man? So the craziest part about this is I feel like, me personally, I feel like this is hurting his legacy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these young folks are starting to realize, because he's not playing as well as he is, they're starting to compare and actually looking at the stats of him and LeBron or Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And they're realizing the only thing LeBron actually has on Michael Jordan is longevity. Everything else Michael Jordan's beating him out as. So the self-proclaimed king or the GOAT is self-proclaimed, but Michael Jordan is actually the GOAT, and then this is really hurting his legacy.
Well, I mean, numbers tell all, and I mean, he doesn't have a lot of championships like Jordan has, but he's number one over Jordan in a lot of categories. But I think it's because of the moves he's done and how vocal he's been in the media that it is eventually hurting his legacy, and the nepotism when it comes to his son playing for the Lakers and how now he plays for South Bay, and they said that he's only doing home games because South Bay Lakers, they travel coach, and LeBron didn't want his son to be traveling and coach. So, like, imagine being the player on that team, on the G League team. You're trying to fucking play your ass off so you can get a contract to go to the league, and you have one
player that's just getting it handed.
Yeah, that's getting it handed, and he only plays home games? What? He's only... If that would have happened in high school or college, I'm only playing home games. Do you really think you're going to get more? Yeah, you're going to get kicked off. You're going to get kicked off. But because of the nepotism in the world and stuff like that, I actually seen something too the other day. It said, what in Hollywood child was nepotism born but actually has real talent? And it was going through a lot of different people. I was like, oh my gosh, man, like nepotism, but then like there are actually some talented Nepo babies out there.
Lana Del Rey. What's her name? Her dad just died. That was the producer.
That was a producer.
He just died. He was the producer. He produced Quincy Jones.
Oh, Rashida Jones.
Rashida
Yes.
Jones. She's talented.
Yep, Rashida Jones. Denzel Washington's son, David Washington.
Can we? Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks' son is really good too. But
Yes,
can we
not
talk about
Chet.
the other? Can we talk about the other side though?
Okay.
The ones that don't have talent that are stealing
That are
talent, like LeBron James' son. Don't get me wrong, he is a good basketball
He's a
player.
good basketball player.
Is he better than most of these NBA players?
No.
Does he belong on the G League? Yes. Should he be treated like a G League player? Yes. Is he not? No.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like
Tell me
it's that nepotism.
why Beyonce, and we got to get into Beyonce, had her daughter on the halftime show dancing around and stuff like that. I don't even know how old she is, but she's not old enough. They were like she shouldn't be dancing like that or dressed like that. But then you turn it around and you look at Blue Ivy. Northwest is Kanye's daughter, right?
Yes.
Blue Ivy is Beyonce's kid. So Blue Ivy is the one that was dancing. Northwest, there's two things I want to talk about Northwest that absolutely pissed me off about this.
Oh, okay.
Northwest had a post with Kim Kardashian where she was doing a trend dance on TikTok wearing the shortest skirt I've ever seen.
Oh.
And she looked like she was older. And then somebody's like, do you know she's only 12? And it's like, bro,
both are
what
12.
the fuck
Blue
is
Ivy
going
and
on?
Northwest, they're only 12.
Dude, they do not look like they're 12. And that's the problem. You're exposing them in Hollywood to look like that. They're going to be doing the stuff that you were doing when you were a kid, which we all know what was going on. At the same time, Northwest was featured as a voice in The Lion King. Yeah, she only did voices, but it comes back to when she sang for the Lion King theater on Broadway. She sang as Simba's voicing, and I just can't wait to be king.
Okay.
That absolutely pissed me off because that girl is absolutely untalented. I said it here, quote me, come after me. Your daughter is untalented. She sang like shit, and you were allowed to give her the voice of Simba on Broadway, where there are kids that are 100 times, 50 times, 20 times better talented than her. And she got that just because your dad and mom are Kim Kardashian? No talented. I'm sorry.
I would say her personality is great. I love her, but she's like her mom. She's like her mom. Her mom don't have talent either.
Dude, her personality is a kid. Think about it.
It's true. But the way
she's a kid.
Does things it's funny. Yeah, she is a kid. And I like Northwest, not because of Kim or Kanye. Like, she's funny. The shit she says is funny, but like, because her dad and her mom, they're going to get more people to gravitate and be like, oh, she's a star, she's this. But it's like, she really doesn't have talent, bro. She just has a great personality. She's a cute girl.
You're a star, kid.
No, you're not a star. Like, you got a great personality, but I don't know if you have talent. Like, we're not talent coaches, but we just see what we see, and you're a Nepo baby that's getting the world handed to you because of your parents. Even your mom got shit handed to her because of who she is. Kanye, on the other hand, had to work his ass off, but then he went crazy. So, like...
then Hollywood got a hold of him. Yep.
Yeah, Hollywood snatched him up. So, like, I hear you. Northwest, she doesn't have talent, but she is a kid, but just something about her charismatic things that she does on camera, it's funny to me, and I'm just like, my kids do that. Like, I see my kids do it all the time. Like, that's why I'm like, whatever she's doing, she's a child. It's funny to me. I'm not going to hate on her. She ain't got no talent.
Right there.
Yeah.
She does not have talent, but she is a child, and she continues. She could do all that stuff. She could do the limelight, and you're exposing your kid to that. Yeah. But then on top of it, I just don't agree with her being in a movie just because your mom is who she is.
I wonder how that happened.
Or the Broadway thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, we won't even put Mufasa, the movie, on there because I haven't seen it.
Okay, me either.
She probably had voice acting and all that stuff. We don't know what was happening behind the scenes.
Maybe.
But the Broadway thing was absolutely bullshit.
Yeah.
It
I
was
wonder who
bullshit.
pulled the strings for that.
Absolutely no talent. She sounded like shit. She shouldn't have been up there. And there were kids on the sidelines, and their parents were pissed off that they weren't chosen,
Yeah.
but she was.
Yeah.
And their kids have gone to Juilliard and all this other stuff, and went to these high class schools to do all this stuff. And then they
Hmm.
got picked because your mom is a
Yep.
porn star and got cum on her back, and then your dad is fucking crazy, and he thinks that he's Jesus, and he hates Jews. Like,
It is, the world is very weird. Well, and then the same context with Blue Ivy, how she has a Grammy, and she won a Grammy like when Jay-Z made that speech,
mm-hmm.
and where he was like, some of y'all don't have the right to be here, some of y'all da 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 da. And I was like, well, what did Blue Ivy do? And apparently she helped create a music video for something, and she got a Grammy for that.
Dude,
So
that's
it's
just, to
like,
me, it's just absolutely like mind blowing. Like,
yeah,
she's 12 years old, and if she's 12, I didn't even think that on her
she
halftime
doesn't
show.
look like it. Yeah,
You
she doesn't
have
look
her
like it.
dressed like she's 17,
Yeah, yeah,
dancing around, doing all that stuff.
yeah.
Now, exclude the kids. We're not even going to talk about the kids.
Okay,
Let's go into Beyonce and Jay-Z. We
okay.
talked about LeBron James
Hmm.
and him. So LeBron James said P. Diddy has the best parties. Well, we know what that's going to do, and I really think he fucked himself over with that one. I
Yeah, he
really
should.
think he did,
Then that's
and
again.
he's hearing it. He's hearing
Hmm.
it from the fans, and
Hmm.
he had to step away for mental reasons and family shit. But we all know that's what it was because it was
Yep.
starting to come out, and they're
Hmm.
probably going to ban people that say it because he's going to bitch and cry just like everybody
Hmm.
else. But what about Beyonce and Jay-Z? Like this girl won best country album of the year, and Jay-Z is now in this fucking legal shit
Hmm.
with this unknown person. He really wants her to be exposed so he can go
Yeah.
and get her killed, but she's not dumb. And her lawyer's actually really, really smart and one of the best lawyers in America. Jay-Z kind of fucked himself, and Beyonce is not. Dude, if can we ever say like you're the queen bee and you're the queen bee of all
Hmm.
these demons in Hollywood? Like,
They've been
I'm
saying it for
sorry, like,
years. They've been saying it for. Well, look what happened to Lizzo. If that shit happened to Lizzo, imagine what's going to happen when shit gets exposed for them. And Lizzo ain't even in the club as they are. But
yeah,
she's in Hollywood, but she got aired out, and she had to step back and was like, well, they were doing this and this and this. Like,
yep.
I think when it comes to those topics, these individuals have so much money and so much pull. They're best friends with the Obamas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anything will come out of this, but I will be very surprised if, because even when he got in trouble with when Diddy got in trouble with J Lo, that kind of got
Mm-hmm.
swept under the rug. And even when Jay-Z got in that trouble when he made that album Certified
Mm-hmm.
with R. Kelly, when R.
Yeah.
Kelly was doing his dirt, and it never came up, but then he
It's
got
just
hemmed up.
crazy.
You know what I
You
mean?
got to think of like we talked about this at the beginning of the episode. We talked about this with Donald Trump.
Hmm.
At what point do people stop going, well, it's Beyonce and
They're
it's
all
Jay-Z
doing
and it's
it.
Kanye,
They're all, yeah,
and they
yeah.
wouldn't
They
kill
wouldn't
babies,
do
or
that.
they wouldn't
They're
kill
not
people,
drinking
or
adrenochrome.
they wouldn't rape somebody
Hmm.
that was
Yep,
14 when they went to a party, and
yep,
then they're hanging out with these
yep,
people.
yep,
Don't get me wrong, the
yep.
Obamas absolutely love them. At the same time, it does scare me, but
Does.
it comes down to other things like Diddy had parties and he invited everybody that was the
Hmm.
A-list celebrity, right?
Hmm.
So some of them might not have been a part of it,
Yeah,
like LeBron James. Who knows what happened?
right,
He
right.
was young when he said LeBron James has the best
Hmm.
parties. He was probably just seeing this part. At the same time, there are videos of NBA players fucking around with Justin
Yep,
Bieber.
yeah, yep.
You don't think LeBron James was doing some
And
shit
then
like that?
Denzel Washington, he even says, "Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I've been to the Diddy parties, but I know what time to leave because that when the devil comes out, I was like, ooh, this nigga knows
Yeah.
something." Like, for him to say something and be inclined, and even when I love Will Smith's comment, he was like, "Don't talk to me about these fucking Diddy parties."
Yeah.
And even
It
50, it kills me that 50 knows a lot of shit, even though he doesn't fuck with those guys. But
Oh yeah.
it's because he deals with them. But we haven't seen shit that 50's been in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's been scathing, you know, very, very in treading lightly. But he's been talking. He's been very vocal. But no one's
Yeah.
brought anything up on him.
I think there's a point in Hollywood because they're scared, and it's not of the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's and stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's who's higher than them that they're scared of.
Yeah.
Because even
Yeah.
though we know Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Beyonce as these billionaires and they're like the power couple and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
they're here.
Yeah.
There are people that are way above them.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even scarier that I've been really thinking, I've really, really been thinking of, and I hate saying this, but this is an open platform and listeners, we're all open into our opinions, and this is just
Mm-hmm.
something that I've been dabbling in, that I've been really reading into,
Mm-hmm.
is how much Jews control Hollywood and the financial side in America and corporate America. And it kind
Mm-hmm.
of scares me when
Mm-hmm.
they had all those tunnels and we
Oh, in New York?
just all of a sudden forgot about them. And then I
Yeah.
was thinking about it and it's like, when did the Jewish power, these Jew Orthodox groups, if you think of their history and past, they did a lot of stuff with like sacrifice and blood and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then I was reading in this, and they were like, think of the body and blood of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
They literally say body and blood to take it.
Yeah.
And back in the day, they really thought of it as blood that you
Mm-hmm.
had to take it. And I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I think I got way too deep in this hole. But then I was thinking about it. It's like all these people that are way up there are Jewish people. Like, think of
There's a
Hollywood.
lot. There's a
There's
lot.
a
There's a lot.
what's his name that just is engaged to Selena Gomez.
Oh, Benny Blanco?
Absolutely fucking yes, he's a producer and yes, he's done a lot for music. This motherfucker looks like AD Anthony Davis with the brow mixed with Little Dicky. Has a weird fetish with dicks. He's literally said he has a weird fetish of dicks and
Yeah.
piss.
Yeah, that's why I
And
had to stop
Selena
watching that
Gomez
show.
is engaged to him.
That's why I had to stop watching that show. I couldn't finish Lil Dicky. I couldn't. I couldn't. And I
And people
love
are
Lil
like,
Dicky.
it's only for the show. It's like,
No.
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 He literally came out and said, I have a fetish of dicks and piss.
Yeah, no.
And then I was like, bro, you're Jewish.
Sorry.
Then I was looking at all these other people and I'm like, that person's Jewish. That person's Jewish. Then I was like thinking of the banks and all banks. And then I read that if you are Jewish and your family is certain amount of Jews in the past, you will get a credit loan with 0% interest.
Oh, so it's like if you're Native American, like
First
you
off,
know what
I'm
I mean?
very high in Native American and I haven't got shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
I
like,
haven't got shit.
this
I
is
don't know what they're
crazy.
talking about. Like, you could
Where's
do
that
whatever
money?
you want with your Native American.
Where's
I'm
that
still trying to
fucking
figure
money?
it out. But if I could go to a bank and say, hey, I'm Jewish and my mom was Jewish and my grandparents were Jewish, you give me a loan with 0% interest is absolutely ridiculous. And I hope that's not real, because if it's real, that's going to piss me off. Because if you're colored or if you're a minority, you go into a bank, they look at you different.
They do. Yes, they do.
And that's why on everything
do.
that I fill out, they're like, oh, what race are you? I don't even care that it says Native American. I put none. Or I'll actually mark it white. And I'm like, no, hell no. If this is going to give me more because these white people are getting shit, I'm marking this as white.
It's
Like,
it is very, and even watching Entourage, and you see so many Jewish guys that are involved with money and how much money they have. Like the one that was funding most of the movies, like in the later seasons, and then Ari's Jewish, his wife's Jewish, like, and you see so much of that. It's like, I hate to touch on that stuff and not to like, yes, shine light on it, but it's like, why is that? Because people get so pissed off at Jewish people, but yet they have a big impact of things. And then we have Palestine and Israel. Like, I have no idea what side to be on. I'm just like, if it affects me, we're gonna have a problem. And if it doesn't,
but it doesn't.
like, right,
We have
exactly.
no business putting our hands in that cookie jar.
Yeah,
But you hit that right there. Why are other people like Kanye, when he went on the rant and he's like, fuck Jewish people? And then I was like, dude, that's fucked up what you just
Right.
said there. But then I started reading into it and I'm like, wait a minute. What is going on?
Hold up.
The
my
reason why I brought
teachings.
this up is because I was watching this documentary on Netflix about Bob Ross, and
Okay.
it was going over Bob Ross's lifestyle and there was some shit that happened, and I will never, and I quote me, and listeners, do never buy anything that is promoted with the name Bob Ross. And it's not because of Bob Ross himself.
Okay.
It's because of the people that fucked him over. And guess what? She's a heavy Jewish family that's big in the Hollywood name. She saw what Bob Ross was doing. She took over his account. He had they had shares in the Bob Ross name. And when his wife died, he had two big names in there. It was him and his wife. It became him, which meant 49% of the shares were under his name. 51 was on this girl's name that took over.
Oh.
When he died, he put his 49 shares in his son's name at 49% for his son, 51% for his uncle. His uncle, when Bob Ross died, because he had the remaining shares, his uncle went, talked to the lady. The lady bought out the 51% shares. Bob Ross's son can't even use his real name. If it has the name Ross at the end,
They
will
own
get
him.
sued.
It's like the Dave Chappelle thing.
His son, Bob Ross's son, who's on these videos, makes absolutely nothing. Nothing. Everything that you see, the Bob Ross t-shirts and all that stuff, goes to that fucking lady. She fucked Bob Ross up so bad. And his family.
That's like I said, the Dave Chappelle thing where he was like, don't go and watch the Netflix, my TV show on Netflix, because I'm not getting paid. And when Netflix found that out, they're like, fuck that. We're going to buy the rights from Comedy Central so that way he can get paid. And they took it down. They bought the rights. It went back to Netflix.
Yeah.
But other people are stingy fuckers.
But it's crazy. The first thing they were like, oh yeah, she's big. Her family comes from like Jewish bank money. And I was just like, what the fuck? What is going on? Why is this like something that I was just so oblivious to for the longest time? Maybe it's because I heard Jew and I thought like, oh man, that's like fucked up.
Don't touch it.
You're talking about religion. You shouldn't be like that. But then I was just like, man, Jewish people killed Jesus. like, but then you praise Jesus, but then you have tunnels with children's bed with blood on them. And all of a sudden there's nothing. We don't know what happened with those people. Like what happened with those tunnels? Then I was thinking back and I was like, man, Kanye said, fuck Jewish people. People have always been saying, fuck all these like higher bankers and stuff like that, which are Jewish descent. I was like, man, this is like some
scary
fucked up shit. Like, have I been blind my whole life? What I feel like I've been blind with a lot of stuff my whole life.
I think because you just said it, like when the word Jewish comes up, you're like, ooh, that's a touchy subject. Like you don't talk about it. Like it's the Nazis, Holocaust, concentration, like all that stuff builds in, and you're just like, I don't even want to talk about it. That's how I feel when it comes to Israel and Palestine too. Yeah. And it's like we didn't grow up in that era, but yet you see Israel and Palestine with America and debt and war machines and this and this. And then you see Jewish bank, Hollywood, music, like big execs, CEOs with insurance companies. Like you see this trickle down and you're like, why aren't we questioning these ones that were oppressed? Because they talk about Native Americans all the time. They talk about the Mexicans all the time. They talk about African Americans all the time. And they tell people to get over Vietnam, get over slavery, get over the Holocaust, get over all this other shit. And it's like, well, how can we when you guys are still kind of doing this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I really wish, and this is where, and like I said, this is an open platform. Yes. We're allowed to speak our own minds and stuff like that. It's not like I said, fuck Jewish people, all that stuff.
No,
it's just crazy. I really wish that they would take that Jewish name and put them in a different bucket and just put these are bad people because it shouldn't be mixed up with the Jewish religion. Yes. Because my mom went to Shalash Shalom, she became Jewish at the end and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she really loved it, and I love how deep they are. But at the same time, there's a certain group, and it really affected me when I read that if you were Jewish and Jewish descent in your families, you had zero interest at a bank for a loan, which was like absolute. I was just like, bro, that's fucked up. Like, it's not equal. We're not
No,
equal
no,
at all.
no,
Like,
no.
we
We're not.
aren't.
We are not.
If
We
you
are
and I
not.
went to the bank with the same credit as somebody that had that on their paperwork, and me and you all
Mm-hmm.
we all walked in there,
Yep.
yours is going to be lower
Yep. Than the
than
others.
theirs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mine is going to be lower than theirs
Yep.
because we're not, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
nothing against it, but at the same time, why is that a thing?
Right. And like
Question
I said,
everything.
it question everything, and it's that emotional aspect. Well, I'm going to give this African American this much money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can give you that. Well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay, we'll give you that deal. Like, yeah. It's that emotional aspect, that razzle dazzle, and question everything. Like not said. Like we said, we're not here to judge. This is coming up from what we've been exposed to, what we've researched, what we've experienced. Like, this is just us. Like, take whatever we're saying as a grain of salt. We're not fucking
And it might not be even true.
experts.
Like I said,
It might not be true. Yeah.
I want to dig deeper into it, but that's just something that I was reading and people were getting mad about it. And I was just like, is that a fucking thing? Like, that's crazy. Like, I never thought about that, but I realized like it was harder with it when it came to credit and stuff. But then I was thinking of other people and I was like, man, how did they get that when they were younger?
Yeah.
Like, there was a certain person, and I'm not going to name him because he's a really good friend of mine. But when we were in high school, he had a brand new Honda Civic under his own name.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was just like, bro, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You didn't even have a job.
Which is nuts. Yeah.
What is like?
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and it's like, man, his parents
got
were
money.
up there. They had money.
Mm-hmm.
But what did that have to do with the child? Like, what did that have to do with him? Because it was under his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking, I was just like, wow, like, was his credit better than mine when we were younger to where he was able to? Or did they look at him and go, oh, we approve you for this? But then, like, other people that I knew were driving Honda Civic or Honda Accords and Honda CRXs that were from like 95 and 2000.
Yep.
But yeah, it just makes me think. And I was just like, man, like, were we fucked from the beginning?
It may be that way. Yep. Born just to die. That's the human curse. Childish Gambino. Yeah, I don't. It's very crazy when you get older and you start to see shit like. Then it just opens up your mind, like, not saying like going down a rabbit hole in conspiracy theory, but it's like we just thought when we were growing up, those kids were more privileged, and we seen how hard our parents worked. And then you get older, and you're just like, you start reading shit, and you're like, wait, this don't make sense.
The fuck?
Like I'm still going hard, and there's what make this make sense? Like, am I the dumbass still?
But that's where it comes down to, that simulation. Like, are we in that like hell simulation? Are we in that simulation where you got to be enlightened? Are we in the moment of revelations where God is testing us? Like, what are we? Like, who are we? And those are those questions that we really should be asking. Not that I want all the listeners that we have out there to be like, these guys are stupid, or they're like, they want us to riot. I just want answers. Like, again,
just an understanding.
Nothing against the Jewish religion. Put them in another bucket of bad people. These bad people, why are they all similar in this thing? Like, one of the other things that I really want to dig into is Germany has books of their concentration camps, and the numbers don't match of what history told us.
What?
And I really want to dig deeper into that.
So
and see if that's true.
It less or more?
It's less than what they're actually exposing us. And then I was thinking about it, and they say like millions and billions of Jews were killed in concentration camps, but the population of Europe wasn't that high. Like,
So there's a theory, Notch, where they said that we actually lost that war, but because something happened in a position of power, that it made it seem like America flourished. And then there's a TV show called The Man in the High Castle, and it talks
yeah,
about,
that's that one that I need to
yes,
watch. Yeah.
Germany actually
Hmm.
won, and
Hmm.
the world is fucking different. And then Japan, because they were in cahoots with Germany, they were able to get their sovereign state on the west, and so they controlled Washington, California
Oregon.
was all,
Oh,
yeah, all
yeah.
Japan, but then the gray area was Wyoming, Colorado, like in certain parts to go down. But then the rest in the Midwest and East Coast was all German. So,
Damn.
listeners, Amazon Prime, the show is called The Man in the High Castle. Fucking crazy. Just think about if the world was different, if we would have lost that war.
Now, the crazy part about this is how much are we feeding into the, like, how much to think about it this way.
Okay.
We all know, and who knows, but what if it was true and they just lied to us?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who's really in control of the
Who's really
government?
in control? Mm-hmm. Who's
Like,
really playing chess?
is there a reason why the president really wants to be the president and loves hanging out with dictators? Because he says they're actually good people and he loves the way they run the country? Like, is this our turn to be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we need to flip it? Because there's already talks that he wants to abolish, like, the electoral vote, make it a
Yep.
popular
Make a
vote, and
popular
then
vote. Yeah.
there's also he wants to abolish the age, or sorry, not the age, but the how many years you could
Yep.
serve.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, this is looking a
Well,
little fishy.
think about what they said in Leave the World Behind, where he was like the cabal, the evil higher up cabal. What if the cabal, like the British monarchy, the
Mm-hmm.
British monarchy, the royalty family, they don't do shit within the government. They have a
Yeah,
prime minister. They have
that's just the
they have
name.
all this. It's just here. So what if there is a cabal above our president of the state as well, and he's the one that's trickling down. He or
But
she or
I
they.
think we all know this, and I'm gonna find the chart, and I know Johnson and Johnson is one of them. I know Pfizer's another one, but they all control, and whoever's at the top of those
Mm-hmm.
are the
Up here.
puppets.
Up here.
Those are the ones that control everything.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think when you hear Johnson and Johnson and Pfizer, but I'm not talking about the brand. I just know that's the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is the top of that, those are the ones that control the Jay-Z's and control the producers and control the Walmarts and all these. And I'm sorry, but they control the government. They do.
Yep.
That's it right there. If you don't believe that, then
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. The government can barely even the government can't even get funds to the FBI to figure out what the fuck is flying in their skies.
Or they don't want to.
And that is a direct quote from the FBI high person that was on the stupid stand in New Jersey. So you're telling me, yeah.
It's
And then
all
you got
bullshit.
Trump going, who's doing all this stuff? These fuckers. No, we said this at the beginning. You are them.
It was them. No,
No.
them is you.
Yeah.
Them is you. What are you talking about? You are a
Full
part
circle
of it.
for this episode. From the beginning, we've been saying this. It came straight back to that. It's, yeah.
It is full circle. It all goes full circle, man, and history always repeats itself, regardless if it was 1 to 5 to decades to centuries. Like, it repeats itself, and I don't know, man. I don't just keep living our lives, doing what we can, like.
Yeah, I guess we just. I'm going to get to the point to where the mushrooms are going to make me feel back to my normal self, and then I'm going to have all this information, and I'm going to be like, all right, now I need to be proactive rather than sit around.
Exactly.
I'm going to get to that point, not to where it's going to be like, oh, we're going to take over. It's just going to be like, bro, like, you need to talk.
Yeah.
You are my government talk.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, please incline us.
They allow us to. It's funny because they want to get rid of TikTok. They want to get rid of X and stuff. And I'm starting to see it because that's where people get the voice.
Yep. Yep. Twitter is crazy. We've talked about it before. Twitter is a place of freedom of speech, and even the person who owns it is able to fucking cast his hate.
That dude's a fucking nut job too, dude. Like some of the shit he posts on there, I'm like, dude, you're a fucking idiot.
But it's funny to me because like they appointed him to be the regulator of those who regulate him, so that way he can make money off of those that regulate him and get rid of the regulations. But I think him and Trump might butt heads when it comes to things because there's certain things that allows him to be more inclined on getting away with a lot more shit, especially this whole SpaceX thing.
Yeah, I think he has an agenda, and there was a reason why he was behind there. And I think it really helped Trump, but I think he forgot that it's how we said, the government is here. They're right there with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yep.
And then up here are those fucking rich fuckers, including Elon Musk, who doesn't know shit because he's just like, the one thing that pissed me off, and I'm like, do your research. When all these aliens and all that stuff was going on, was around the same time that the government wanted to shut down for the holidays, which would have screwed up the military.
That'd have been crazy.
And Kamala and Biden went back to the White House. And not only did Elon, but all his followers of Trump's, they were all like, oh, something big is going on. There's a reason why they canceled their vacation and stuff. They're back in the White House. And it's like, motherfucker, they're trying to stop the government from shutting down.
Yeah, that's
you fucking idiots. How, and then Elon said the same thing, and he's just like, why did they cancel their... It's like, bro, you literally were just saying that the government needed to get shut down. This is the reason why. You're a fucking idiot, dude.
But
how are you a billionaire and did all this stuff and you're dumb? Like,
he knows what he's doing. He's trying to make it a hysteric, panic. Yeah. And just like Trump, people follow. Yep. People follow because, well, they have X amount of money. They did this and this, but they barely did shit.
Yeah.
They barely did shit, and you still ride for them? Like, come on, man. Like, if April showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. And what do pilgrims bring? Smallpox. Let's just...
I was going to say, roses always smell like...
You know what I mean? It's like someone pushed something. Yeah. Like, there's just even points where I don't know if I told you, Central Park, I think we did, where there used to be a community that lived in Central Park, and they were weeded out.
I didn't know that.
There was a community in Central Park. I'm going to send you the video, and it shows residents that lived in Central Park, and if anyone goes to Central Park, any of you listeners, Notch, if you go to Central Park,
I've been there.
It has plots of who lived there, and it shows the time frame when they lived there.
That's crazy. I'll have to look
Central
it up.
Park. Yeah, Central Park was a community.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And like you said, Notch, when are we going to all come together? Because there's more of us than there.
Yeah.
When are we going to realize that?
It really opens up my eye. I was watching the Boondocks, and I watched the Martin Luther King episode.
Mm-hmm.
If he was just in the coma and stuff, and he's just like, man, like, what if he didn't die? But it really made me think of like the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther King's, all the voices out there. It's hard to come across those people anymore because the voices now that we have to look up at are OnlyFans stars and influencers. And if you get some good ones, which are Elon Musk, who's trying to do something with space, is literally just copying NASA, but he just has money, and NASA's he's not doing anything different. He's just making the spaceships bigger, but they're not doing anything further. They can't go any further than what we've already done. Yep. Like, you could already see they're struggling.
Yep, they are.
So
I'm with you there. It's trying to just grab anyone's attention for them to go with their master plan. That's all they're doing.
But in our lifetime, do you think we'll ever see another Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
I I think so. I
Cesar
think
Chavez.
a lot of people are going to get balls like those individuals
You
did,
think so?
and I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be vocal, but I don't think they're going to get the following as those guys did,
It's just
because it's such a
it's
different
yeah.
age, you
It's
know.
unfortunate because one of the ones that I really like, who I think has a really strong voice, that's our age, is AOC, and they give her
A lot of
so much
people
shit.
hate her. A lot
They
of
give her
people hate her.
because she's a pretty girl, and they don't like women that have knowledge. But then on the other hand, you give Lauren Boebert, who's dumb as rocks, but her tits hang out, and they're just like, she's the greatest fucking thing in the world.
Well,
Like,
because
I'm just like, bro,
because she's pushing the agenda on
yeah.
what they're already preaching, and
Mm-hmm.
then people are like, she's got it, even though she's just, it's for her gain too, showing her tits, and it's just like, I'm
She
from
literally shows her.
Uganda, here to show my tits.
She's literally showing her tits and stuff like that, and they praise her. AOC wears a tight shirt from back when she was at Boston
Mm-hmm.
College, dancing around, and they're like, "Look at this fucking hoe and all this shit, and how many
Yep.
dicks does she suck and all this stuff." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, God
Mm-hmm. It's
damn,
crazy,
like,
but
bro, she's super smart. Like that is a person that I wish would be president, but because she gets so much flack and
yeah,
stuff, we'll never
it
see
wouldn't
that.
be cool. Yeah, we would never see that. She'll be
She
like
won't want it.
a
She won't want
Gingrich.
to.
Yeah, she'll be
Yeah.
like a, what's her name?
Oh yeah,
The older
the
lady,
oh,
Ruth
I thought you were.
Gingrich.
Yeah,
She'll be something
the
like that.
judge.
She'll be
Yeah.
something like that. Like, still trying to push things, and like Bernie Sanders is still kicking, but like, we just
But
can't win.
we need to get the age out of there. We see what happened with Joe
Yeah,
Biden. He could
yeah,
barely even walk
yeah,
and stuff. Nothing
yeah,
against him and everything. The
yeah,
dude just shouldn't be president.
yeah.
He shouldn't be president. At the same time, Trump shouldn't be president. People of his age shouldn't be president. At the same time, we shouldn't have influencers be president.
Yes.
We need that middle ground.
Yeah.
That's our age ground
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
I mean,
Someone
he could be
who's been
president
in
at
the
the age
shit.
of what, 36 or 46? I know it's a 6. I think it's for 30.
It might be 46.
Is it 46?
It might be
Which,
46.
in my opinion,
I
is
think.
just, dude, you're 46. Like, drop it down 10 more years, 36. They have to have the background. AOC is perfect.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
I just
don't get it. The hate is nuts.
well,
it's funny.
Speaking of the hate, like, to wrap it up too, the hate on Mr. Beast, man.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. We need to go over shows, music, movies, all that stuff. But, dude, what is up with that? Mr. Beast is. Tell me how people are complaining that we're on Beast game, or what is it, Beast Games? They're complaining and saying he was not feeding us and blah 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 this, and that motherfucker had cameras everywhere to where he's like, I've got the proof that we gave you food.
Yeah.
I got proof that we gave you water bottles and it was too hot. We gave you personal fans and we try to put air conditioners where we needed and all this stuff. And we had medics on site. We had people that were security on site, all this stuff. He dotted his I's and crossed his T's. And I absolutely love it that he's being so open about it.
Right.
At the same time, bro, Mr. Beast is fucking nuts. Jimmy has, I don't know what he did with Amazon, but that dude makes money and gives away money like it is nothing. It is crazy, dude.
I wonder if the sponsors are like, this guy's onto something, and they're just feeding.
Bro, they know his background.
Yeah.
He's number one in I forgot what he said. He said it today. He's the first ever to do it with a non-scripted show.
Oh, wow.
He's the first, like, number one, top of the charts. He's number one across the world. I mean, his followers are crazy. The episode that he did on his actual YouTube channel that lead into the Beast Games was freaking crazy.
Wow.
4,000 people, dropped it down to 2,000 people. 2,000 for the show is now at like 250 people. The money that people, it's all psychological. This show, T, have you watched it?
I haven't.
Bro, you need to watch it. It is absolutely crazy what people will do for money. Not like Squid Games where they'll kill for people, but the
Okay.
psychological part that Mr. Beast did to these people, to where they had to think. Some people gave up millions of dollars and then got booted like the next, like, okay, I did that for you, but you're out. And I was just like, bro, he gave up $1 million to save your ass and then you kicked him out. Like,
See, money makes people go evil, man.
yeah,
Money
there's
makes
some
people
good.
go
I mean,
evil.
it's crazy to watch. You definitely need to watch it. Whoever's talking shit about Mr. Beast, I've seen a lot of people that don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Go check out his channels.
Yeah.
He does a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking in the past. I think in 2018 he was worth 25 million, and now he's worth almost $500 million.
Wow.
He's worth $500 million. That's his empire, and that's not what he's giving.
That's not what he's giving away. Yeah.
That is crazy. And this motherfucker lives in his warehouse in a small little studio.
It's like Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah, I love Rob Dyrdek. T, let's talk about what we did watch, because I know me and you finished. Spoilers, 5 seconds. You got the 5-second rule. Everybody else out there, bro, Squid Games 2
was nuts.
It was slow at the beginning.
It was just so they can kind of pile up.
Yeah.
But the fisherman's a bitch ass motherfucker. Frontman's a bitch ass motherfucker, and he's evil. He's not like Ilnam from the first season, the old man. He's an asshole. Like
Wait, which one?
Ilnam. You remember the old dude that survived?
No,
at
I
the
remember.
end?
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Um,
Who's the new one that you're talking about?
Young Gil.
Young Gil.
He's the front man.
Number 456?
Nope, 001. Number 1.
001. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Player 1.
Player
okay,
1. He's the front man.
Yeah.
And his brother, yeah. He's
Yeah.
an asshole.
Okay. Yeah.
He's an.
Yeah.
I want to see what his end game is in season 3, because the way he played everything till the end, and then he just dropped 456 off, and he was like, "How is it being a hero now?" I was like, which is.
But he still doesn't know. 456 doesn't know that
Yeah.
001 is a bad guy.
I
thought that was fucked up when he shot him in the back. He's like, "Oh no," and he's all gasping for air. And
that
everything.
was bullshit.
Spoilers.
I wish
major spoilers.
Major spoilers. I wish Jung Bae.
You got to go by numbers. I don't remember.
What is his number? I think it's 111. It's 456 best friend.
Okay, yeah, the one that he got got murked.
I wish he would have said what
he said. 01 did. Yeah,
I wish he would have said it, because he had 2 opportunities.
Yeah,
and
he had the opportunity when he choked that guy out, and he was like, I should have said something." Yeah,
he should have said
definitely.
something.
I think the characters this season are a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah.
I think Thanos is a bitch ass. I'm so glad he fucking got murked.
Fuck him and his whole crew.
Thanos is a bitch, dude.
He's a little bitch.
He still cracked me up though. He's funny as shit. He's all fucking. He reminded me of kind of like Mercutio on Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
When he takes the fucking ecstasy and he's just like running around like no fucking big deal.
I know, he like kisses
he's
the
like
fucking button.
he's like pausing and shit, and he's pushing people over and then just like smiling. Like, this dude is a dick.
But it was crazy to see. Like,
he was a good character though.
He is
a really good character.
A lot of them are good. I was so sad that the cute girl died at the beginning, who he was talking to. I was like, no, why would you do that? But it's she's crazy.
She's all, I just moved and I didn't get killed.
Yeah. Pow! Killed her.
But that wasn't really his fault. That was her. She just freaked out with the beat.
That was
then
her
he
fault.
He realized when they were like, "Oh, line up in a line" and stuff like that, and then he started pushing people. I was like, "That's fucked up."
He's a fucking dick. He's all did this. The thing that kills me about Squid Games, like season 1 and 2, like the running theme, like a lot of these individuals, like the United Healthcare thing that we have going on in New York.
Yeah.
456's mom, she was dying in cancer, and he was trying to win that. And then the guy at the beginning with the little girl at the carnival
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
the same thing, and they denied her and needed money. A lot of those people, they're just regular people trying to come up, but then you have these higher ups that don't care, and they just
No.
want you to dance like a puppet.
It's
And then you're going to make the money as we do, and you're
yeah.
going to see why the way we act, and it's like, that's
Yeah.
not the way, though. That's not the
Yeah.
way.
That Squid Games was a little over the top. That what people will do for money. Like, I think the first, if you were really in a situation like Mr. Beast games is fun.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna die.
yeah.
Squid Games, I think after the first one when they played red light, green light,
Mm-hmm.
money doesn't matter. Your
Oh,
life is. I think
absolutely
you
not.
might have a few people that are dumb enough that think, oh well, I'm stronger and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't think it would ever happen like that.
No.
I think it's really they over exaggerate what people will do for money, and death isn't. I mean,
I don't know, man.
uh,
There's some people out, especially when it
I
comes
think
to
I
that.
think some people, but not
Yeah.
when like in Squid Games, for example, when the first one, red light, green light, and that many people are like, oh, I owe this much won, and that's not enough. Like, no, bro,
Yeah.
you saw people's brains getting blown
Yeah,
out and
you're
stuff
really
like that.
gonna
You couldn't
keep
even.
going through.
You would be too petrified to even press a button.
Yeah.
Rather than go, oh, 36,000 won is nothing. Like, come on.
Yeah. No.
It was really good. I think it was great fucking show. Listeners, go check it out. I was super excited that it came out. I'm very pissed off how they ended it though.
Well,
I
it's
hate
cliffhangers.
that. Yeah, that they're like you next season in 2025. I'm like, bro, just stop with that bullshit.
Did you
Like,
see? Did you see the guy red light, green light?
what guy? Red light, green light.
The doll that does the
What
red
about
light,
it?
green
Oh
light.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In the
okay.
second, like at the end, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be a new game apparently.
I really was sad that they didn't bring like the cookie game back because I was like, yeah, people are gonna get fucked in the cookie game. At the same time, those games that they were playing, dude,
They
that
got
one where
fucked.
they was like, that was like Jax.
Yep.
I don't know what they were doing.
That
They,
was
at first, I
crazy.
was like, bro, it's just like Jax. You just got to toss it, pick them up, toss them, pick it. No, they were like on sides, and you had to like count and
they were
everything.
like-
I was just like, what games are they teaching these people in
Yeah.
Korea? This is why they count like this, and they're like 200 million divided by this much is this much squared root, and I'm like, that's why, because your games aren't normal.
They had that hacky sack game.
The only game I could play was probably the hacky sack one. I was like, man, I'm fucked in all the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh no, the rock one, that rock tossing one. I was like, I could get that one.
Yeah.
We all watch Bozo the Clown. We all know we're good
Yeah.
at that shit.
We know-
That's
we
why
know
we're
how to
so
do
good
that.
at beer pong.
Yeah. That's
We all
true.
been playing that since we're kids. Is fucking Bozo the Clown taught us.
That show was fucking crazy to me. Just yeah. Listeners, you guys have to go watch that. Viewers, you guys got to go watch Squid Games. I mean, Nacho was like, I already finished it. I was like, what? It just came out. He's like, yeah, I was up. I was like, all right, I need to watch it for the show. I need to watch it so we could discuss. But
you're like, I'm on the third one. Right when you text me, you're like, have you been watching that? I was like, dude, I just finished it. Like, right when you text me, I just finished it.
Have you seen the platform too?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen the second one. I've seen the first one.
You need to see
I need
the
to watch
second
that
one.
one.
You need to see the second one. That one's
Yeah.
interesting. Euphoria. So I know we were talking. You need to finish.
Yeah.
I need to finish Euphoria too.
I haven't finished that one either.
So the only reason why I watched Euphoria, I had a dream. I seen a video of the girl who plays Maddie, the Hispanic girl.
Yeah.
I seen a video of her on the internet. They're like, say happy birthday to Alexa Demi from Euphoria. I was like, oh, okay. I had a dream about her the next night. And we were at the club. You and I were there. And she was there. And I already told Erica this. Like, she was like,
T, you better like
no.
slow down on this one, bro.
No, I already told
Dreams
Erica.
be getting people killed out there for real.
They be getting crazy. But she like sat
Wives
on
and
my lap.
girlfriends don't like dreams.
They fucking
It was
hate
a
them.
dream. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
You did this.
It was a
shit to me.
dream.
So
Dreams mean everything in real life.
No, they don't. unless you're getting killed by zombies, like you suck in my dream. but apparently, Maddie, she was sitting on my lap. talking the way she does in the show. And I just woke up. I was like, all right, I'm going to start watching Euphoria. That's how I started to watch Euphoria.
What? That's
It was fucking weird because I always wanted to watch it, but I never had like the motivation to watch it. And then
yeah.
like, I love Maddie's character. I mean, but she's kind of like that girl in high school. But the cinematography in the show and the writing and how Zendaya's character is, I was
Yeah.
not expecting her to be like involved like that. That really caught me off guard. Like, but
Definitely.
it definitely does go to show like it's a good show, but it's like we're adults. Like we don't have these
Yeah.
teenage problems. And my brother
It was.
Chaz told me that the other day too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really good.
it was a good show, but I wasn't as invested, and I think I could have been more invested if I was younger.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and I think
I
that's why
agree.
I didn't finish it. That's just weird because a lot of shows, I'm very young at heart. Like, I love watching cartoons. I love
Mm-hmm.
watching anime. I
Mm-hmm.
love kid show or not kid shows, but like teen shows and
Yeah,
stuff like that. It
yeah.
just keeps me young. But that one was one of. I think it was because it was kind of a serious show. At the same time, it was like
Yeah.
I was just like, I've already like this is
Lived
I've
it.
already been through this
Yeah,
shit. Like
right.
this ain't
Right.
new.
It's not
They're just
new.
taking drugs. Like
Yeah.
fucking, you want that show? Just ask me. I'll tell you stories.
I'll give you
Like,
some real life shit.
yeah, I'll tell you some fucked up shit that went happen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus. No, it was a
Yeah.
good show. I definitely need to finish it.
Yeah, I need to finish it too. I'm on episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah, I
So I'm
think
like,
I'm
yeah,
barely even on season 2 as well.
okay.
I'll have to
Yeah.
rewatch it because I don't even remember. I barely remember the girl that
Okay.
you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't be having none of them dreams, T.
And it was crazy
My dreams
because,
be fucked up. I'd
well,
be
I mean,
having dreams, dude. When this alien shit happened, I had a dream that we were fucking the aliens were here and they were like talking to us, and it was like I woke up in a panic and I was like, oh man, maybe I need to stop standing outside in the dark for two. I was like,
no, I had a dream and I had sleep paralysis. I
oh
was on
hell
the
no,
I fell asleep on the couch and
nope.
I was watching X-Files and I like turned to
That's
where
why.
I could see my back sliding door, my sliding door
Mm-hmm.
there, and I was seeing people jump from the cement on top of the roof, and
Oh hell no,
I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up, and I like finally once my body snapped out of it, I went to the back, and there was
dude. I
nothing.
hate them dreams.
It scared the fuck. I was like, I'm going to bed.
That's why you can't fall asleep. Dude. You got to fall
know,
asleep to like
bro.
Nickelodeon
I
shows, bro.
know. But it happened, and it was so fucking scary. And it was 4 beans jumping
Nope.
on top of the roof. It was scary. It was so fucking scary.
You need to put a camera out there and see if that shit was real. You're like, oh fuck, it was real.
Oh, it was so scary.
And then it was aliens, them damn Mexicans.
They were building behind us. Those aliens.
Is that my cousin? Talk about movies. T, have you watched any new movies? I got to go over a few of them that I've seen.
I watched Sonic 3,
Okay.
Red 1.
I heard that was not a good movie.
Oh, I loved it.
Did you? I'll have to watch
the
it.
kids. There's one part, and you're gonna know where I was like, they could have fucking did this differently. But the
Was
CGI
it
is
the
cool.
snowman?
Not the snow. Well, it happens
Okay.
on the beach, and I was
Okay.
just like, I hate this motherfucker's
Yeah. I
voice.
read
They
the
could have did something
reviews
different.
and I was just like, damn it. I really wanted to watch it, but then it got horrible reviews.
But
and
here's the
it's like,
thing:
fuck.
Rotten Tomato gave it a 30%, but the audience gave it a 90%.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'll have to watch it.
It is worth a watch. It's worth a watch.
Did you see that Dear Santa's on Amazon Prime?
I did see that.
You need to watch that. That shit's funny.
Oh, you watched
That was a good
it?
one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I had to watch it. It's Jack Black. Again, another Satan movie.
It's another.
But I'll let it
Satan
slide
movie.
because it's Jack Black. Jack Black was. I love Jack Black. Tenacious D.
Did you see the movie that they're coming out with?
Which one?
Anaconda?
Mm-mm.
And it's with Paul Rudd and Jack Black.
Like a remake of Anaconda?
Yes.
No.
I won't
That's
be
nuts.
watching that.
Well, why are they again?
Because yeah.
Nobody is original.
No.
Anaconda was already in the.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a cult classic.
Yeah.
Like you have to watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
it's like fucking Lake Placid and all that shit. Like, or there's only so much that you could watch it. Like, what was it? Sharknado. Like
Oh
you watch it
God.
once, you go,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
I
good.
watched it. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Snakes on a Plane. I watched it.
yeah.
It is what it is. Like, come on.
Centipede. It is what it is.
Centipede. The fuck is centipede? You mean human centipede or
Human
what?
centipede.
The fuck? I ain't watching. I haven't watched it. I won't watch it. I'm not watching that shit. I'm sorry.
I was curious. What's another one?
She'd be like, I've seen two girls in a cup. I know what a blue waffle is.
I'm done. Piano lesson.
I think you told me that last time that I need to watch that.
Piano lesson was good. Scary as fuck, but it was good. What's the other one? Carry On.
That's the movie I wanted to talk. Dude, that was a great fucking movie.
That movie was good as fuck. That movie's so good.
Yeah.
That movie
I was super happy because I like Eggy from Kingsman. I was happy that he's in there because I always wondered what happened to him.
Yeah.
Dude aged so much.
You know, he still looks the same, though. He still looks the same.
Dude, them wrinkles on him were like, bro, what happened?
Yeah.
Some people just age so bad. I was like, dude, European people, man, I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Them, hello, governor. They just, I'm no governor. I'm no governor.
Hello, governor. Fucking regular show.
I fucking love that episode. Rigby. Hello, governor. I'm no governor. He like beats the shit out of the car.
Hello, governor. That one's so good. I do want to watch the Jamie Foxx stand up. I heard it was fucking good.
Yeah, I heard that was good too. I need to watch that as well. I haven't watched it. I watched oh my gosh, what is his name? Gosh, I just had it. I have it up here because I wanted to make sure I talked about it. So we talked about Squid Game. Mm-hmm. Have you seen 6888 with Kerry Washington?
6888. Oh, is that the Army movie?
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer. Was
a good fucking movie.
Okay.
Great movie.
Okay.
And it's based off of stuff. Ronnie Chang has a new stand-up.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I love Ronnie Chang. That dude cracks me up. His stand-up had me cracking up. He was talking about how him and his wife, they're having trouble having kids, but they want to have kids, so he went to go see a fertility doctor. Okay. And the doctor was like, all right, here's your cup. And he's like, and then I had to go to the room where all the men go and jerk off. And he's like, and then I went in there and I could hear these people like outside the room waiting to jerk off, and I just couldn't get it off. So I went out there and I was like, I couldn't do it.
It's disgusting.
And he's like, think about it. You're in a small room that's dedicated for men to jerk off. Like, he's like, how many little things are just out in there because they can't. It was that dude cracks me up. Definitely watch it. Such a good fucking that dude. He's a funny fucking comedian.
Okay,
funny comedian.
He has some good shit.
Did you see that Megan Fox movie, that Subservience or whatever?
I haven't, but my brothers were telling me about it. He said it was fucking nuts.
I heard it was nuts, but I didn't really. I started watching it and I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
But our boy from Harold and Kumar has a movie, and I forgot what it's called, but it's about like Smart House.
Afraid.
That was a fucking
that movie was crazy. That movie was fucking nuts.
Watch it. Mm-hmm. Listeners, please go watch that movie.
Yeah, that movie
it
was like a scary version of
Smart House.
Smart House, yeah.
Yeah. But at the end, dude, so you saw it?
Yes.
At the end, like how everybody's fucking controlled.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts. I was like, oh my God. This is a simulation.
Like, I'll take care of you. And I was just like, oh man, hell no.
Yep.
You can't get away from this. This is fucked up.
That was too fucked up. Did you watch 3 Body Problem? On Netflix? I feel like I did. It's the one where they had like the aliens, they came down and they had the virtual reality goggles. And you had to figure out how to save your world. But every time they played the virtual reality, the world was destroyed, so they had a whole bunch of physicists trying to figure it out.
I'm looking it up right now. Three body problem.
Yeah, three body problem was crazy. That was crazy. It makes
Oh,
you
it's a
think.
series. Okay.
It makes you think.
I'm trying to think of other ones. I think those were the biggest ones that I
Yeah,
saw.
those are big ones.
It's What's Inside. I feel like I watched that one. It's What's Inside. I watched Frozen Ground. That's an older movie.
Okay.
That was a pretty good movie. Oh yeah, I remember watching It's What's Inside. That was a weird one.
Okay.
I couldn't finish that one. That one was crazy. My brother liked it, but it was just, again, it was very euphoria type
Okay.
for teens and stuff like that. And I was
Okay.
like, this is too cringe the way they were talking and acting, and it was just stupid. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it when they're copying influencers.
No, I hate that shit.
But real quick, T, do you have any music recommendations?
Let's see. Music. I have Dave Chaney. He's one of Trey knows him, so
Yeah.
his dad actually performed like poetic, like Def Jam poetry at CSU Public years ago. His son actually makes music. He's formerly known as Mr. DC, but now he goes as Dave Chaney. Hard ass songs that he has. They're chill, they're vibey. What's another one? Denzel Curry, Black Flag, freestyle with him and that Mexican OT. Hilarious. It's such a good song. The beat is fire too. What else? That's kind of it. And I've just been kind of vibing to like Afro beats lately.
Afrobeats? Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, that's my phone. I was like, where's my phone? I'm using it.
How'd you?
So there's been a few new good songs. Redman had a few new songs that came out. That boy, he's still bad as fuck, dude.
He's
I love
crazy.
Redman. Yeah. I think it was Redman. Yeah, it was Redman. It was a Method Man. So Redman came out with a few on his new album that's supposed to be dropping real soon. I was talking to Trey about that. There is an Australian artist, T. I want you to check her out. Her name is Mallrat.
Okay.
She is good, man.
Really?
Her voice is there. She has a song called Groceries. Check it out.
Okay.
That's who I've been vibing to is some Mallrat. I think it was funny that her name was Mallrat. I was like, what the hell?
Like the
and then
movie?
I saw her. Yeah, and then I saw like a picture of her and I was like, who is this girl? But then I was listening to her. Australian music's pretty good. I like it. But she's not hardcore Australian accent, the Aborigine type shit.
Yeah.
She's got the didgeridoos in the back. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Definitely check her out. But yeah, that's all I have. That's it.
Okay. Oh, she's kind of cute though. Came up on Apple Music. All
Yeah,
right.
her new album has her like a cut off and her boobs are hanging out. And I was like, what the fuck?
And her name's Mallrat.
Check out Grocery. Grocery was really good.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay. All right. Well, today was a long episode, but it was the catch-up episode.
Definitely a catch-up episode.
A lot is going on. You're going to catch us for the end of the year to wrap up 2024. So indulge, listen, take parts. We'll see if the video will come up, but the audio will be available. But yeah, even if I have to edit and chop it up for you guys, so you guys to watch.
I know.
Be on the
They're
lookout
gonna be like,
for
what the fuck are they talking about? Wearing the same uniform, same outfits.
It's like, what's going on? Yes. So thank you guys. Make sure you guys go over to YouTube, like and subscribe, comment in the comments. Make sure whatever you're listening to on any platform, podcast platform, make sure you like and subscribe, comment below. Go to the Cool page and also go to the Cool Attire, where it's your Gem and Nacho and Cool Attire needs, and just live life. Just everything we said in the beginning. It's the razzle dazzle. Just keep doing you. Keep taking care of yours.
And I know this one was a little specific on a lot of our own opinions. Take it with a grain of salt. We're we're just speaking our minds. That's all it is. This
Yep.
channel is
That's all
basically
we're doing.
just a whole bunch of random stuff. Everything that we talk about is just random shit that we're finding. We don't mean to offend anybody, and if you're offended, sorry, but you're not gonna. Like the cable guy said, it's no sweat off my sack. So
It's no sweat off my sack. Hell no. Absolutely isn't. Well, Notch, life is random.
life is very random, and life is cool.
It is. Until next time, listen. We'll catch y'all next.
Hopefully, you guys get to see us.
Yes.